They've got us on the time frame today. We're excited. We're action packed. This is going to be a full 3 hours. So, welcome to our first online live luxury certification. We are so pleased that all of you are joining us, and hopefully, you're as excited as we are. So, I am our newly Vice President of Luxury Growth for EXP, and I am thrilled, but I am not new to luxury real estate. Very just brief about me. I started real estate in 2005. So immediately, my first home I sold was $3.5 million out of Atlanta, Georgia. So I have sold a lot of years, really recently, up until I took this job. I have always sold luxury real estate. I've also been a sports and entertainment realtor. I moved to Nashville, Tennessee in 2007, and by 2011, I owned my own brokerage. I grew that to 5 offices, and it was one of the largest franchises in the Southeast for really, it was all real estate, but my specialty has always, like I said, been luxury. So thank you for tuning in with us today for this certification. I've got some very special people that I would like to introduce, and it is our Luxury Advisory Council. And I just tell you, the years I've been in luxury real estate, to really put my heart, my soul, my name behind something, it really meant a lot to me to come into a program as amazing as this, and I can contribute. Really, the luxury program was founded, it was birthed, it was everything so fabulous about it really came from these awesome 5. So I would love for them to say something and really could tell about their passion of really why they were behind the EXP luxury program. We have Jana Caldo, Pete Middleton, Janie Coffey, Ed Kaminsky, and Tina Call. So each of you say a little something, and of course, we love your passion, and thank you for all you've done for EXP luxury.
Thank
Who do
you.
we ask?
Yeah, I think I was supposed to go first. So can you guys hear me okay?
Yep. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I am just so blessed to be here. Carrie, thank you for your leadership. We're all very excited that you're at the helm of this. Her energy and passion, we can all feel it. So we're so glad you're here leading the charge. I love all my council members. We just have worked tirelessly to bring you guys value along with Jeremy and the team behind the scenes. So I've been doing this 24 years. I always was of the mindset that I wasn't a luxury agent because I grew up kind of poor and I never felt good enough and worthy enough. And I always thought that I had to be rich first before I could really help a luxury client. And so back in, I want to say it was 2008 or 9, I discovered expired listings, and I would just call in a phone, not a rotary phone, but a phone, a dialer. And I ended up with a luxury listing, and I'm like, oh my God, I got this $1 million listing, and they trusted me. And from there, taking the action, not really, trying to be a luxury agent, ended up becoming luxury. I could service luxury. My team now I've been doing it 24 years. I have 45 agents at Call Group, and we have 1,500 agents in Access, which is our XP community. And so, when we think about luxury, it's a lifestyle, it's a service, it's an expectation. And the tools that we have in this EXP luxury platform have helped us get tremendous listings. I mean, we took a $3.8 million listing and we went up against Compass and Sotheby's and we won. And that seller said, it's because of the exposure that you could promise me that we went with you. So if you guys aren't using the tools, my God, you're going to see them today. Janie is a wonderful teacher, and I'm just so proud to be part of this council and to be with you guys today. So, thank you.
Thank you, Tina. Awesome. All right, Jana.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jana Caudell. I am also a proud Luxury Advisory Council member, and I'm in 2 different states. I have a real estate team, 27 and a half years of doing this in Little Crown Point, Indiana. So I'm bringing where you can have luxury in small town USA to the equation. I'm also in Naples, Florida, and have a real estate team there. Proud to be with EXP for 6 years now. And so just like Tina, we all grouped together and we saw the real need. We're all in the day-to-day trenches every single day, like you are. We list and we sell houses. I'm a firm believer that big or small, we sell them all, but I definitely like to incorporate luxury into my daily routine of listing and selling homes. So we all needed better tools and systems, and that's what EXP gives us. And this division has definitely elevated my own team's business, but I've watched so many success stories, and I can't wait for you to learn today and share today. This council, like she said, has worked tirelessly. We're still working hard for you guys. We want this, and we know and confident that this is the best of the best in the luxury arena in selling real estate. So thank you, welcome, and just embrace. I'm going to be here the entire time to help with everyone and give some pointers along the way of what me and my team have also done to improve our agent and luxury agent business. So
Amazing. Thank you, Jana. All right, Pete Middleton.
All right, I'll be brief because I have a guy outside my house about to blow all the leaves and everything. But I'm originally from Brockton, Massachusetts, and I have a team in La Jolla, California of 10 people. Been in luxury now 30 years, and also have another team in Nashville. So I know Tina's in Nashville right now, but she's a stinker because she didn't tell me. So if this gets too loud, I'll make it quick. The guy is right outside my door, you guys, but we're so excited to have everybody here. We're going to share with you everything that we've learned, all of us, over the last 30 years in luxury real estate. It's basically luxury in a box. It's going to help your business. It's going to elevate your price. It's going to help your production. And we're so excited to have everybody on here today to learn. Okay, I'm going to mute now.
Thanks, Pete. And to our master trainer, who is going to be giving you so many golden nuggets, so much meat today, Janie Coffey.
Hi, my name is Janie Coffey. I am so super excited to be on with all of you guys out there in the world. We have people from all over the world, and I am very honored and blessed to be here with the Luxury Advisory Council. Like the rest of everybody said, we have worked really so passionately to literally create an entire brand within a brand for those people who are either selling luxury already or looking to sell luxury. And we have compiled the most amazing tools, training, networking, and everything. And we have crammed literally 6 hours of training into 3 hours today. So I'm a kind of person that likes to watch my videos on double speed to get through a lot of stuff. So I think a lot of the training we're going to have is going to be at double speed so that you can get it all in today. But we are super excited, and stay tuned. I am in historic St. Augustine, Florida, and also have a team throughout the state of Florida called Gorgeous Florida Homes Network. So, oh, and Ed Kaminsky, don't forget Ed. Ed Kaminsky couldn't be with us today. He's flying somewhere, I'm sure, amazing. But he is our superstar sports and entertainment specialist in California, and he rounds out the 5 Luxury Advisory Council members.
As I like to say, they are the awesome 5. So let's give them some love in the chat and blow it up. I thank you all for your work, and you're about to see how all of that's displayed throughout our luxury presentation today. We would like to give a huge shout out to our EXP ambassadors. So ambassadors, I know many of you are in the audience. Be sure to give some stars to let them know and tag. And of course, we want to give you all the love too for representing the luxury program in your areas and really being advocates to many realtors, whether they are in EXP or without, about our luxury program. So thank you. Next up, we have our recap of today. We want to go through that with what can you expect? So, but while I'm going through that, we also want to hear what would be a takeaway for you. What are you here for that one topic to really learn, or what would be a win for you to take home? How we have set it out today are really 4 segments. They're each going to be about 15 to 20 minutes. Between each segment, there will be a spotlight. There will be a takeaway from our luxury member of recapping that section, but also giveaways. So we have a lot of fun giveaways. If you're here, you're going to take away not only great information, but you will have great products that you can hopefully win or B, plug into your own systems from our sponsors. So stay tuned. And if you're not already excited, guess what? We have a sizzle reel to make you even more excited before we kick off our first live online luxury certification.
The future of luxury real estate has arrived. Refined, global, exclusively yours. World-class brand advertising and marketing placing your listings front and center. Extraordinary properties deserve extraordinary presentations. eXp Realty commands the digital space like no one else, presenting your properties in nearly 80 world-class international media outlets. A powerful community of like-minded agents combined with powerful industry partnerships, leveraging eXp's global network to sell their listings. Local market expertise, global connections. We are bringing the future of luxury real estate directly to you.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Jeremy, for sharing that. Okay. So before I turn it over to Janie,
The future of luxury real estate has arrived.
Here we go. Sorry.
sorry, it was a little delayed on my end. So I went in hot. Okay. So to keep it moving, remember it's fast paced. We want you to be taking away so many of these nuggets. But before I turn it to Janie, I did want to say this is a 3-hour course. This usually is $595, but today it is free to you, but you must stay the entire 3 hours because at the end we may have a little something more, but wait, there's more, as I like to say. So stay tuned till the end. This will count as a credit for you to join the luxury program. And if you have any questions on that, feel free to put those in the chat. We'll definitely answer them towards the end of the event. So without further ado, Janie Coffey, let's go.
So again, I am super excited. This is something we normally train for a lot longer. We've compressed it. We're going to go fast, and we've got so much exciting stuff for you. And as Pete and Jana and Tina said, we're just trying to share everything with you that we have 30 years of experience, many different brokerages, many parts of the world selling real estate, many parts of the country selling real estate, from super glitzy high end to maybe a really nice farm and everything in between, because we know that luxury is different in every area and it's specific to you and where you serve. So to keep that in mind, that luxury is not just the super condos in Miami or in La Jolla where Pete is or in New York City. It's specific to your area. And we're going to talk about how you can take everything we train on today and deploy it to your business, however you see fit and however feels comfortable for you. And that leads us into the first thing, which we say, before we begin, you have to believe that you're already halfway there. And we think that mindset is so important, and understanding that luxury and selling luxury really is a lot more accessible for people than they might realize. A couple misconceptions about selling luxury real estate, and we've all heard people say that before, is that you individually need to be wealthy, or you yourself need to live in a big home or drive a fancy car or have a fancy bag or shoes or purse or things like that. You have to be a long-standing agent, a veteran agent. And I can tell you, and as can the rest of our Luxury Advisory Council members, there is nothing further from the truth. A lot of it has to go with mindset. It has to go with understanding luxury and understanding luxury clientele. It goes with branding. It goes with confidence. And all of this today is what we're going to share with you. So let's get on into it. Luxury can be defined in a lot of different ways. It can be a dollar amount. The NAR and the Institute of Luxury Home Market consider it the top 10% of any given market. So if you have 6,000 homes have sold in your market in the last 6 months, sold, not listed, sold, sort them by price point in your MLS, then scroll up to the 600th property, and right at that break point, that's going to show you what the top 10% is. You will be surprised. It's probably a lot more achievable than what you think it is. It's probably a lot closer price point, and you might already be selling in there daily. And then, of course, it goes all the way up to the top 1% of the market, what I call uber luxury. And unfortunately, a lot of people hone in on that uber luxury, and they think that's what luxury is, and they psych themselves out. That's just the 1%, but that whole top percent is where you get to play. Of course, dollar alone is not the only definer of luxury, because we've seen small studio apartments or condo hotels that are very luxurious. And then we've seen really high priced properties that might not be luxury. Maybe it's a luxury piece of land or something like that. So dollar price is a gauge, but it's the whole package. But it's elevated, it feels good, it's high quality materials, it's in a nice area, it's a whole package. So for all of you, if you're not sure about luxury in your area, or if you've said, I don't have luxury in my area, just do that little exercise in your MLS, and you're going to see that it's probably a lot more achievable, or you're probably already in that space. So we talk a lot about luxury brands and luxury mindset, and what is that exactly, and how can you infuse that in there. We think it's timeless, we think it's classic, we think it's generational. But if you think a lot about luxury brands, there's often kind of an understated elegance, and there's quality feeling. So in we're going to talk about your own branding, your own materials, but also the properties themselves will have that high quality, nice touch, thoughtful details all the way through. It's also about comfort, abundance, exclusivity, and also about lifestyle. And we'll talk a lot about lifestyle, because that's where you get to play a little bit with lifestyle properties, lifestyle real estate. Often people have second homes, or their lifestyle and their home living, their way of living is around that lifestyle, and it ties together with the property types that they serve, like condo living or beachfront living or golf living. So thinking about the lifestyles in the areas that you work, or in the areas that you serve, or the lifestyle that you yourself are in. That could be equestrian, that could be skiing, that could be boating, that could be fishing, and figure out how can you tie in your hobby and your love and your interest and your knowledge to that lifestyle real estate. Waterfront real estate, for example, is very specific. If I'm a boating person, I'm going to want to know a lot of very specific things about real estate for boats, depths, tides, all these different things. Where can I take my boat if a storm comes? If I'm an equestrian person looking for equestrian real estate, I'm going to be thinking about things that go along with that, as far as pasture sizes and arena sizes for riding, or barns or stalls or things like that. So really understanding the lifestyles that are served and enjoyed in your area is going to really help up your game in your real estate journey. And there's so many. There's probably, I think I have at least a list of 100 different kind of lifestyles, from wineries to living in a B&B, like a true bed and breakfast. There's all kinds of luxury lifestyles. Think about and visualize that luxury lifestyle. Think about, what are the people going to be looking for? What's going to be important to them? Maybe it's an amazing summer kitchen. Maybe it's an amazing, excuse me, outdoor pool space. And think about, how can you tie that in to your own personal brand? Maybe you're a golfer. Hold on, sorry. I do have a chronic cough, so it's not great for somebody who speaks a lot on Zoom, but it is what it is. But think how you can kind of nestle that through. Maybe you live a very urban lifestyle, and so you're going to have kind of a very urban, sexy, sleek branding, because that's the type of people that you want to serve. Oh my goodness, I'm going to cough again. It's also important to understand that the luxury clientele, they are used to using best-in-class service providers, whether it's their CPA or their attorney or their physician or whomever they're working with. So you have to also have kind of that level of confidence and presentation when you're dealing with them, so you come across exactly like the same level of professionalism that they're used to dealing with in every other aspect of their lives. They're often used to paying higher fees because they're looking for the best of the best. So as we go into this new environment with the NAR settlement, where we're often a little bit anxious about what does this mean for me as a buyer's agent? What does this mean as a listing agent? As you go up in price point, you are dealing with people who are looking for value. And I don't mean necessarily a lower fee or less services, because they value their own time much more. And they understand they need a professional to help them with their purchasing and their selling of their real estate. They are willing to pay for that. They understand what a high level professional is going to bring for that. So there's a lot less nervousness in the higher price points with the changes that this NAR settlement might bring. But they also, in turn, are looking for a high level of service, a high level of attention to detail, because that's how everything else in their life is run. If you are going to a high-end person's home, you're going to see that everything is impeccable. The way their grounds are kept, the way their pool is kept, the way their wine cellar is kept. They are expecting a high level of everything because that's how they live their life. That's how they expect everybody else in their life to be as well. So that is very, very important as you're putting your materials together and as you're interacting with them from the very start, even before you get in front of them, from your marketing materials, from your website presence. Everything about it needs to be elevated to match what they're used to having in their lives. And by the way, that doesn't always mean flashy. They're often used to just very high quality everything. And sometimes, again, that's understated depending on where you are and depending on who you are as a person. You can make your own personal brand fit with you and fit with the people that you aspire to work with. So let's talk about defining the luxury market and what that means geographically. Of course, proximity, you want to be closer to those areas that you plan to serve. CMB scene, that means maybe going out to events, maybe going to restaurants or places like that, maybe joining clubs if that's your thing. But being out, living that lifestyle, and just understanding that can be very, very important, but it doesn't have to be the only way. We're going to talk a lot about the different ways that you can serve the luxury clientele, but you do have to understand the area very much. If there's clubs, if there's schools, if there's special nuances about that area, because people, as they go up in wealth, have life and living is very, very important to them. And so it's not just the hustle of them working and getting their kids to school. They are really, really tuned into all these other things. And they are going to expect, especially if they're maybe moving to that area or they're hiring a listing agent and the likelihood of the buyer is coming to that area, you do have to understand all those things. Clubs, amenities, schools, things like that, so that you can help smooth that transition for a buyer coming in, and you're giving the seller the confidence that you know that you're going to be able to sell that area or explain why that area, that home, has amenities and benefits that maybe another area or home doesn't have. As you're looking at areas and trying to hone in at the area that you want to focus on, you want to look at some of the factors, like what's the turnover, what's the absorption rate. You can use your MLS to understand what's the average days on market for this area versus the MLS in general for that same price point. Luxury areas often have a lower turnover. People might live there longer. If it's a very old established area, people might live there much longer. So if you're determining where you're going to focus, don't skip the step to really look at these stats. Days on market average for that area versus the MLS in general. Inventory, meaning months of inventory, how long somebody lives there, and really do some analytical studies of a couple different target markets before you start to dive in with your time, your money, and your resources to farm or to really get an area going. Because the last thing you want to do is put a lot of time and effort into an area and find that people don't move out of their home except for every 20 years, right? Because you're going to be working 3 times as hard as the average area. Other things, looking at target market size. If you're looking at a farm, maybe, you know, a geographic farm, you could also do a niche, and we're going to talk about that, kind of a different type of farm, and figure out if you're going to do that, or when you do that, you've got to allocate a certain amount of your own time, money, resources so that you have the time to get yourself going in an area. And we're going to talk a little bit more about farming, and we also have a great farming sponsor who is going to give away some prizes today for you as well. Geographic farming, I feel, is one of the strongest ways that you can get yourself going in an area and establish yourself, but it takes time. You're not going to necessarily get results in 2 months. You might, but don't bank on that. You need to plan on 6, 9, 12 months of dedicated geographic farming with consistency, with similar branding, so that their minds can subconsciously link all those pieces together, and great information. And again, we have some tools to share with you in the luxury division about how you can geographic farm. But it is, if you are starting and you have a little bit of money to put into it, I would say it's one of the strongest ways you can get yourself going and really establish as the person, especially now, because what's happening right now, a lot of real estate agents are pulling back with their budgets. They're hunkering down. They are not investing in their business. And right now, with the shift that we have going on, and depending on where you are in the world, the shift might be stronger or less strong. Now is the time that you can 100% kind of stake your claim. And then as things start to loosen up, you are the dominant agent because you have taken the time to do it right now. I guarantee you, I know where I live, and I live in a pretty strong area. I don't get any postcard farming contents right now from agents. So look at what you're getting. And if you list empty homes or vacant homes, that's a perfect place also to kind of do some stealth looking, because you'll see in the mail as it comes in if somebody else is farming that area. But that, it's a huge, huge, huge opportunity. On top of that, with geographic farming, you can do social media farming, you can do video farming where you're targeting an area. There's lots of things that you can start to layer on top of that. If direct mail farming is the foundation, there's lots of things that you can start to layer on top of that. And all of a sudden, people are going to look around like, oh my gosh, where did that person come from? I've done it myself with equestrian farming, and then I've done it myself later in another area with historic homes, where within maybe a year total, people are like, where did she come from? She has everything. And it is because it was with mindful intent and analysis of the area, analysis of the niche and the farm, of how we could really take over. So in review, for geographic farming, proximity, pulling things in, understanding the market, picking your market size, understanding the turnover and absorption, and not necessarily putting your resources into an area that turns over too slowly, and then figure out if you want to geographically farm and how you can do that. Postcards we think are great. So Tina, tell us, what is your recap? Because I know that you do this really, really well. What has been your recap about geographic farming, mindset, and understanding the luxury market?
I mean, for me, I think, geographic farming is really, really important. We should always be doing something to target our area. I have used a lot of farming for targeting the 4 luxury areas in our area. And it's just been massive for, getting a return on investment. So I think it's just, what people tend to do is they do a lot of multiple things and they're not good at anything. So you kind of just got to really pinpoint, like you said, and go all in and spend the years doing it, not just, oh, I did this for 2 months and it didn't work. So that's what I would say on that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tina. And next we have Stephanie. Is she in here? I'm trying to find her. There you are, Stephanie. Stephanie and I have gotten, oh, I couldn't see her face. There it is. I see her. She is a rock star. She and I have gotten to know each other. really how she has done this amazing business all over the world. So we definitely wanted to spotlight her today. And our question to you coming out of our mindset segment is, you are a powerhouse. And how has your mindset, when you've organized this global really fractionalization that you've been doing, how has that been instrumental to your success?
Well, Carrie, thanks for having me on here today. I don't know why my camera won't turn on, but anyway, I'll go ahead and get started. This is my 25th year in the real estate industry, and I have lived a long time on the commercial side of things, but also on the residential side as a luxury real estate agent. My first broker, when I was 21 years old and just getting into real estate, said, Stephanie, you dream too big. You need to pull back and stop dreaming so big. And I took that as the opportunity to go and start my first real estate company and do exactly what he couldn't do. And that was, his average price point was about $223,000. And I said, I'm going to go out and land every 7-figure listing I can, just to prove to him that dreaming big is real and we absolutely can do it. At 21 years old, my first year in the real estate business, I'm in Louisville, Kentucky, you all. Back then, the average sales price was about $183,000. I did $14 million in residential luxury sales my first year, and I did about another $34 million in commercial sales. Everything that had 7 figures attached to it is what I wanted to attach my name to. Why? Because I could, and because he told me I could not. And so now, over the course of the last 6 years that I've been with EXP, I've decided to take what I do well, which is showing up, building relationships, and making sure that I leave an impression with anyone and everyone that I meet, that I am here to solve their problem and get them to the end result of what it is that they want. And now we've been able to expand our business not only across 43 states in the United States of America, but we're also in 7 additional countries. And Carrie touched on it, this thing called fractional real estate. And as real estate gets more and more expensive, why not be able to still have that vacation home, that second, that third, that fourth, that fifth home? And we put it we sell it in a way that, you can't spend 100% of your time in that second and third home, right? Because it is in fact your second or third home, but you can spend a fraction of your time there. So let's start selling these properties in and throughout the US and multiple different countries and islands. Let's sell fractions of them, and let's make that opportunity available to more individuals. The super uber wealthy aren't the only ones that deserve to have those vacation homes. And so I'm excited because we're going to bring this to EXP agents. We are going to influx an enormous amount of inventory. And guys, we're all going to get on a plane and go visit these places, because we've already started listing these developments in and across the globe. And Carrie and luxury is going to get open in so many new markets here soon, because we need luxury agents to help us sell through all this amazing inventory. So thank you for having me on. And I don't know why my camera's not working. It says
try to get in there, Stephanie. It should be working for you.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I gotta see everybody. You gotta see my exciting face,
There you
right?
go.
There we go. I don't know why it's all lit up, but this is what we do. This is what I love about this company is because, we're all owners of this company. We decide who it is, what it is, and how we earn and have fun doing it. And, real estate is an evolving, and very agile, right? You got to be agile in this industry. And so new things are popping up, and we're going to make sure EXP is first to market, and our agents, our owners, our partners, our collaborators all win and have that opportunity to win. Thank you all so much.
You are a rock star. Thank you. So well spoken. And we loved your joining us today as our spotlight. So who is ready for a giveaway?
I love it. I love giving stuff away,
Jeremy
guys.
is giving away.
So we're going to be giving away the very first thing we're going to be giving away, guys, is 100 personal or property brochures, which we all know that's some pretty good deal right there. And so you're looking at a $377 value. It looks like people do want to win already. I see it in the chat. And so I'm going to do this. I tried a little wheel thing. It didn't work. So I'm going to randomly just do my slide thing and I'm going to scroll and I'm going to pick one of you guys to win this awesome prize. And so we'll take note of it. And then whoever wins these prizes, I will get in touch with you guys in the next 2 days of how to access these prizes. So let's go ahead. I need everybody drum roll. I know you can't hear everybody, but let's drum roll it. And then all of a sudden, we've got a winner at number Claudia Rodriguez. Claudia Rodriguez. I've got you down, and you are the winner of the prize. So I don't know if you're in the chat, but you should say hello and yay because you just won. Congratulations. There are going to be more prizes, so hang tight, guys.
Awesome. Congratulations, Claudia. And now we're going to swing it back to Janie as we go into our second segment, which is all about competitive advantage and intelligence when it comes to the luxury marketing. So come on, Janie.
So you guys, I got to tell you something. My speaker notes are not showing up, so I am winging this whole thing, including the down to the minute timing that Carrie, Jeremy, and I had worked out. So on top of speaking fast, I'm also winging it. But thankfully, I've given this presentation quite a few times, and I do know the material. And by the way, Stephanie, same thing. Somebody also told me that I was not going to be able to achieve what they thought I was going to be able to achieve. And I did it, and I did it bigger, and I did it harder. And I know I have a guest here in the audience that somebody else had told her the same thing. So I think when people tell us something, especially we as real estate agents are fairly, we're driven and we're competitive. And if you tell us we can't do something, I think Carrie's had a similar story. That just means we're going to blow it up 10 times harder. So if anybody of all of you guys in the audience, if anybody has told you that you dream too big or what you're thinking is not accomplishable or that you are not capable of doing that, kick them to the curb nicely and you go and do it. You go and do it. I actually am starting a podcast called The Dream Big Show for that very specific reason, because I just think so many of us are told we can't do something, and gosh darn it, we're going to go and do it, right? I know, Jeremy, gosh darn it's probably a good Kentucky phrase. So if anybody told you can't do it, yes, you can. And we are here to tell you, and we are here as proof. And even Pete with his Boston accent selling like amazing properties over there in La Jolla, California. So anyway, now we want to talk about competitive analysis. And I think this is so important, because this is where sometimes people literally will psych themselves out. And if there's anything I want you to know is don't psych yourself out, psych yourself up. So things to look for, you do need to look at what are the total agents in the area? Is there like a standout agent? And even if there is, I don't want you to worry about it, because we're going to tell you why that's not that important. Is there fractured versus consolidated production? Meaning, is there an agent or a team or a brokerage who has a larger share of the market, or is there less so of that? And again, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to tell you why. Advertising, is somebody really hitting it hard with advertising? And what kind of advertising are they doing? Are they doing print advertising? Are they doing digital, social media, video? There's always ways around, up and around and nimble, to be the opportunity to be something else from whatever that dominant agent is. And then we all know, as agents get successful, as they've been in the business longer, sometimes they get complacent, they get lazy, they get weak, and they also get grumpy. I've been there too. I've been that grumpy old agent before. And when that happens, there's always opportunity. I have a member on my team, and I always talk to them about, don't let the myth of the dominant agent psych you out. And sure enough, she has actually sold a listing in the last month that came from an opportunity that seller did not give the dominant agent. And because of that, another seller is hiring her over the dominant agent. And she said she would have never felt empowered enough to go after that listing because this one agent is so dominant in that area had she not heard that. And the reason I say it's not that important is if you look in your MLS, just like we talked about looking at market share or market data, if you look at your MLS listing side, solds, sort by listing agent's name, and let's say there's 1,000 listings sold in the last year. Very rarely are you going to find that a single agent has more than 10 or 20%. If they have 20%, that is a lot of a market. It's a lot. Sometimes, in a very rare instance, you might find more than that. Often, if there was like an on-site salesperson who lives in the area, it sold that community or condo sold 20 years ago. They've been selling that same thing for 20 years. They might have a larger share. But generally speaking, you're not going to find a single agent has more than that 10 or 20%. That would still be a lot. But even if they did, that still means that there is 60, 70, 80, 90% of the market still wide open. And I guarantee you, if you look at all the rest of the listing agents for all that other 60, 70, 80%, 90%, it's like onesies, twosies, threesies. So there is the perception that they have all the business, but in reality, there is plenty of business always for everybody. And I want you to remember that. And when you look at that in your MLS, you're going to be like, wow, I had no idea. But maybe that one agent was really, really good at marketing themselves. Maybe they're really good at being out there in social or out there in billboards or postcards or whatever it is. But there's still plenty of opportunity. And often when there's a dominant agent, there are sellers who don't want to work with that dominant agent. Maybe that dominant agent rubbed them the wrong way at some point in the past. Maybe they feel like they wouldn't be special to that dominant agent because they have such a huge market share. So there's always opportunity. And what you want to do is do the research. Find out, do the research about the MLS, find out what they're doing. If they're hardcore in print marketing, then do digital. If they're hardcore in open houses or whatever they're doing, maybe you do video. Show up in a different way. There's different people looking in different places, and you're going to show up at the people who are looking for that, and they're going to see you're the person. If they love video, they're going to be seeing you show up all the time. So figure out what that is and work around it with your strengths and in a way around. Like I said, I moved to a new area in 2015. I didn't know anybody. I moved by myself. Didn't even know how to pronounce some of the areas, but my big, hairy, audacious goal was to be in the top 10 of my MLS within 3 years. And I was in the top 10 by my second year because I went after luxury expireds and I went after areas specifically around, there was a dominant agent in one city. I just skipped that city. I did everything else. I was like, I'm not going to compete with that person. I'm going to go somewhere else. So there's always opportunity. You just have to look for what's the inroad because nobody was chasing expireds when I was doing that. Maybe nobody's doing amazing open houses and blasting them out there. Maybe nobody's doing video. Find out what is your skill set, your interest, and ideally something different. If there is a competitive, a dominant agent, do something a little bit different. But there's always opportunity. You are going to be the person that somebody else is chasing in a few years. You are going to be the person that somebody else is thinking, oh my gosh, they own this market. They are the dominant agent. I don't have a chance. That's you. And that's the mindset that I took when I moved into a new market. So we talked about this. Like I said, I'm going super fast because we have so much information to get through. I love looking at trends too, because maybe you see that trend that dominant agent is slowing down. Maybe you'll see a trend that they are going in a different direction. And I wouldn't put so much focus on that anyway. Where are the trends? Where are people buying? And really understand, be thoughtful. A lot of what we're training you today is to be thoughtful before you dive into a marketing and a business plan. Don't just say, oh, I've had a few sales there, I'm going to do this area, or I live here, I'm going to do this area. If you're thoughtful and you do the analysis of the MLS and the advantages and the opportunities and really pull in and focus where that opportunity is, you're going to be much more successful, much faster, because you're taking advantage of the opportunities and kind of the holes in the market. So we talked about this, physical presence and advertising, what is out there. I know an agent who did incredibly well. He held a monthly market report at the local cafe where everybody knew to go to the local cafe. It was like a breakfast market report month after month after month. And it's been, I don't know, 15 years at least. He's still doing it. And completely that alone established him as one of the biggest agents, now very large team leaders of his area. So figure out what somebody's not doing, what do you enjoy doing, and how can you really show up and bring a lot of value. Of course, with luxury sellers and buyers, data is important to them. They want to understand the data, they want to understand the trends, they want to understand what that means to them and figure out how you can get there. So we've talked about that. We talked about direct mail, maybe in your area, print online. Magazines is something that's big too. So look into that. Different areas are different areas have kind of different things that are hot in their area. Some areas, open houses are a really big thing. Sometimes it's less. Whatever it is, look into it and then get really good at that thing or two things. Figure out your online presence. We can't ignore having a great online presence anymore. Website, social media. Blogging can still be very good. Video, of course, is extremely good. Video can be amazing because if people are searching for something, YouTube, of course, is linked to Google and it will show up forever and it will continue to land you business and search engine optimization. I still get leads from equestrian listings from 10 years ago that I have not blogged or done any video on for 10 years, but that kind of stuff lives on forever and it just becomes like a stacking on top of each other, like Russian nesting dolls, where you have more and more and more and more and more. So they're certainly seeing you there. So again, complacency and opportunity. We see that all the time. Somebody is slowing down. Somebody is not wanting to stay on top of trends. Right now, AI is very big, but I can tell you there's a lot of agents who are not wanting to embrace AI. They already feel they have their thing going on. Maybe they already have their sphere of influence and are not wanting to build on it. So AI is a great opportunity for people who are wanting to be fresh, get out there in a different way and be seen in a different way. Like I said, also sometimes people get old and lazy and grumpy. And so just really look for your opportunity. Be the disruptor. We are, all of us, at a disruptive brokerage. So we obviously embrace being disruptors. And we would encourage you to look at how you can be a disruptor in your area. It's so much, I can't tell you how much mindset really is the key to success in luxury real estate. Truly believing that this opportunity is yours and you can take it and you can excel at it. So, yep, we talked about searching an underserved market. That could be something like, here I'm in an area with a lot of hospitals. So we have a lot of physicians, but we have a lot of young physicians because they're coming into these training hospitals. An underserved segment of the market might be working with the new physicians because they have very special needs. They need to be close to the hospital if they're working at the hospital. Often they have very high incomes, but they don't have a lot of savings. They might have a lot of debt from medical school. So finding loan programs that work with young physicians and then really leaning into working with young physicians can skyrocket you because you become a category of one where they really search you out because they know that you can really help and you can help list their home because when they want to move up to a larger home, and that gives you clients for a long, long time. So that's an example of finding an underserved market or an underserved segment of the market. Use the latest imagery technology. We've talked about that. Be tech savvy. Niches. We're going to talk about niches too. Niches, I think, is one of the ways that you can springboard yourself into luxury success probably faster than almost any other thing. And everybody on our panel here has at least one particular niche that they work. Niches can be equestrian, historic, like I said, waterfront, sports and entertainment like Carrie, waterfront. I know people who only do penthouses. I know people who only do brownstones in New York and Boston and areas like that. People who only do lake properties, or in Canada, I learned a word recently, cottages, where these are like really nice lakefront cottages for second homes in their lake areas. So finding out a niche like that and really diving deep, doing video, doing blogging, doing social media, understanding maybe there's a media person who writes articles about that, or there's a magazine that you might offer to do the monthly real estate updates in that magazine, or that press, or that person, and building those relationships. Getting those press relationships also can just kind of skyrocket you forward, because then you have some real credibility to say, I've been, written up in Forbes, or I contribute to Forbes, I contribute to CNN, I contribute to, I don't know, Cottage Life in Canada, whatever it is that's in alignment with that niche. So as a wrap up to this, analyze the competitive field, understand the barriers, but then understand where the breaks in those barriers are, so where is your way in. Find the opportunities, do a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So what are the strengths that you bring to this area, to this niche, to this area? What are the weaknesses that you might have, or weaknesses in the market, or opportunities? What is a place that you can get in? Like I said, maybe it's with special events, maybe it's with special press connections, and really, really work them. And then what are the threats? And a threat might be, there is a dominant family, and now they have a 22-year-old young person who's really into social and really into AI, and now they're going to be joining the family because the mother and father or whoever are exiting real estate. That might be a threat if that's what you're going to do too. So look at all of these things and really dive in deep. So next up, personal factors. If you have past clients that can lead to the luxury niche, or that already are in luxury, of course, that is going to be really great for you. Like I said, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, I didn't have any past clients in my area. I had to build them all up from scratch. But if you do have past clients, definitely gather them, friends and family, organization members, vendors, and partners that serve that area or that niche that you're wanting to serve. And don't forget people that are kind of in proximity to that. So if you are looking to work the waterfront lifestyle, that might be yacht brokers, that might be fishermen captains who go out with people who are doing deep sea fishing expeditions, who are in proximity to that, who are coming in contact all the time with those people who are interested in that lifestyle, interested in that property type. Even I have found people like mailmen or desk people or concierge people who are dealing with people who are looking to buy or sell, or just living that lifestyle, can be excellent sources of business for you. What so demographics, like I said, maybe it's a hobby you have, maybe your kids go to a certain school, you play a certain sport, you do a certain thing. History and architecture can be very big in certain areas. So understanding the history of architecture, of the specific architects in that area that are considered hot. If you love architecture, you might even hone in on a specific architectural type. I know people who only do mid-century modern architecture, or ultra contemporary architecture, or in my case, historic architecture. But then I really understand historic architecture. The people who do mid-century modern niches, they really understand the architects, they understand the construction, they go to events, they go to speeches about these things where they're really networking with people. They even have branding, websites, cards, all around that. So people who love mid-century homes love mid-century homes. A lot of them won't buy anything else. So if they meet a real estate agent whose branding is all around that and whose knowledge is all around that, it becomes a complete no-brainer for them to want to work with that person. And of course, interests and activities, like I said, water sports, golfing, skiing, whatever that is, if it can somehow be connected to real estate and lifestyle, just lean in deep to it. You can even put your business cards up at the businesses that serve those things, or talk to the owners, highlight the owners of businesses who serve that in video, because then they will love to share the video. If you interviewed somebody who, runs the sports golf shop or the pro shop, if you interview them, they're going to show that video to all of their clients because they're very excited about it. They're going to put it on their social media. So always figure out, how can you highlight the people who serve that niche? So considerations with niche. So yeah, is the segment large enough, right? If you have a very specific niche, try to think of one. Like I said, I don't have my notes at all right now. If you had a very specific niche that you wanted to go all in, but then you looked at it and it's too small, like it's not going to give you enough potential transactions in a year, that might not be a niche that you want to go all in on. So do make sure that it's large enough. Will you have a separate brand and messaging for that niche? So what I've done is I have a fairly neutral brand for our Gorgeous Florida Homes Network, but then I have information and branding around historic, around luxury, around equestrian, and just call it the division of that. And then I have special messaging, special materials that are for horse properties, that are for equestrian or historic. And I'm sure Jana does for waterfront. And just, you can kind of stack it on top as opposed to making two separate different brands. Making sure you're always connected, be out there, be going to events where these different niches are, whatever that niche is, whatever that interest or hobby is, and then continually build on that specialty knowledge. That's so important, because then you're connecting your passion with the passion of the buyer or seller, and they're understanding you get it. You get what they're looking for. You get what the special thing is about their home to highlight. That might be, again, that might be an incredible outdoor kitchen with all kinds of grilling kitchen stuff. I'm not an outdoor grill person, but a lot of people whose homes I've sold are really into that. So they have like incredible Mac Daddy summer kitchens with Mac Daddy grills that they're so proud of, that are tens of thousands of dollars. That's the kind of thing they want to highlight and make sure to highlight to the person who wants to live that amazing entertainment-full lifestyle outside. So just understanding that and then diving deep on it. Talk about, think about, be looking at what are the things. Jana, Pete, what niches can you guys think of off the top of your head in your areas that are really hot and special? Certainly boating, Jana, where you are. But love to hear your input on niches.
Well, for me, in Northwest Indiana, builders, developers, that was always my niche. That's how I started my business, and still to this day, 27 and a half years later in my town, just try to always be representing a builder or a developer, because I didn't want to just sell one house. I wanted to sell the land. I wanted to sell the lots. I wanted to get, typically the subdivisions that I was a part of. Also, that was a resale, like they had a home to sell in order to be able to move in or to build a custom home, etc. So for me, that was like a FSBO or expired. I went after builders and developers with a vengeance when I was brand new, and I still to this day make it a very important part of our plan for marketing. So then in Naples, Florida, we don't have those new subdivisions. So I'm going to go after, where I live, where I work, where I golf, where I, hang out, right? That lifestyle is more so in that. So I think, like she said, you have to kind of look and study that area. I've always been one to stand out and want to be different. So for me, I was with a very unknown company. Back then it was Keller Williams. No one had ever heard of Keller Williams. I was the first Indiana franchise owner for them. So I went from a land of Century 21 callers to red. And so guess what happened? That made me different, right? That made me stand out. So, and then when I left Keller Williams, I went independent. And so I brought that to our town. And then when I went EXP, that was a no name, right? No one had ever heard of EXP. So for me, I always wanted to be different and stand out, because that's what my clients wanted and expected of me. And that also led to more business. And I think that's a misconception. A lot of agents are maybe afraid to make that change. But for me, that was a big differentiator, being that disruptor. I'm going to just share a little thing. I got big time disrupted last night. I actually am using one of our vendors for the luxury division, which is Real Marketing. And I clearly went after the luxury market and took a certain price point of homes, and I blasted that out. I made a lot of realtors very upset with me. And so I'm still disrupting after 27 and a half years. So here's what I'm going to encourage you. So you new ones, don't be shy. Dig in there, right? It doesn't matter how many years you've been in the business. If you've been in the business a long time and people are kind of possibly jealous of you or attacking you, you have to be agile. You have to roll with it, and you have to have thick skin. Okay. I didn't do anything wrong with that marketing piece besides do it. and it
Right.
looked like $1 million. And I had the disclaimers on there. I never claimed that I listed and sold those properties. But again, that happens. And the more successful you are and the more well-known you are, that's also going to continue to happen throughout your career. So I would say to you, to the seasoned, just toughen up a little bit, be relevant, and be agile and have that plan in place. So yeah.
Thank you, Jana.
I don't even know how I follow that. You know, Jana was giving all the tips, but here it is, you guys. You can break into any market. Just understand the demographics. If you believe it, you can achieve it. You know, where I am in La Jolla is a completely different market than Nashville. So I'll give you some insight on both. La Jolla, there's a lot of old money and there's a lot of new money. So don't get thrown off where you think agents have been there forever. They're always going to get the business. That's not necessarily the case, because the new money that moves in from out of state or other areas, they don't know those agents. Just remember that. They don't know those agents. They're looking for somebody fresh who can service them, who can keep everything kind of confidential. That's a big, big thing, you guys. And you know, understand the demographics, understand the niches, understand the schools and what drives people. You know, in La Jolla, it's kind of a laid back, beachy area. A lot of people want to be close to the beach and tennis club or any of the beaches or villages in La Jolla. So you have to be aware of all the different niches, right? Every town has different locations and different niches. You can become very hyper local on those niches. And I think the key is to be consistent and get out there. I mean, Jen is doing the real marketing. I've been doing the real marketing for a long time. I just broke into a new area in Nashville. Now, in the Nashville area, a lot of the houses are behind gates and they're in country clubs. So there's a lot of country club living that people look for. And I've been mailing here now for, a few months. And last month, I was able to get 16 inquiries for listings, 16 off one mailer. So I think it's just being consistent, being likable, listening well, being out in the community and servicing people, because that's what we're in. We're in the service business. And you have to have everything kind of put together, whether it's your image, your collateral, everything. And the beauty of eXp Luxury, you guys, is we've all poured into this. It's luxury in a box. So don't get overwhelmed like you have to recreate everything. I mean, half the stuff that Jenna and I do, we put a lot of R&D into it, rip off and duplicate. But you have to change her around, and you have to have calls to action and direct response marketing. You can't just say, hey, call me because I'm Pete and I've sold $2 billion worth of real estate. They don't care about that. Everybody's in it for what's in it for them, especially when it comes to demographics and niches in different markets.
Yeah. And I'll just add, it doesn't matter if you don't know anyone. I knew absolutely no one in both of my states when I showed up. No one. So, you can, I'm here to give you some hope, right? Like you don't have to have those established relationships. Yes, does it help? For sure. But for me, it actually worked in my favor. I didn't go to high school with them. They didn't know me. I came in as a professional. And for those of you that have, I sell all price points. It's not just luxury at all. I mean, so for me, I just have a very luxury look all the way around. So it's about having those high standards and delivering that service and treating their money like it's your money. And they want to do business with someone who's going to take great care of them. So just here to give you some hope.
Yeah, and I saw somebody in the chat said that they were scared. I think they said they were scared they're going to be stuck where they are, or they're not going to be able to move. Pete sold real estate now in 3 areas. He currently has a team in 2 states. Jana has a team in 2 states. I've sold in 2 totally different parts of my state. You can when you have the skills of a professional real estate agent, you can start over anywhere. Mm-hmm. Just like Jana started fresh somewhere, I've started fresh. Pete's starting fresh in Tennessee. He started fresh in La Jolla. It's the skills and the confidence and the mindset. 100%. And that's what we're here to give you guys today, is the skills, the confidence, and the mindset. A couple different niches also I saw in the chat. Jennifer Cheney specializes in the divorce niche, which is really fantastic. I watched a video that she did recently on how she actually works with a divorce niche of people who are nice and not necessarily fighting, which blew my mind because I've done a lot of divorces in my 20 years in real estate, and most of them were really uncomfortable. So she has a whole different way. Somebody was talking about how they do senior silver real estate, right sizing real estate, where people are moving maybe to a 1-story or a smaller, or even a senior community. So they have something to sell, they have something to buy. Whatever your passion is, you can tie everything into it. And that's really what we're wanting to share with you here. Is it is so exciting what you can do with luxury real estate. So we are almost done with this session. Actually, let's see, recognize barriers. We've talked a lot about that. Breaking into luxury, spot the opportunities. Talked about that. I do want to talk a little bit about just understanding too. When I said look at that top 10% of your MLS, whatever that top 10% break point is what we call near luxury. I call it starter luxury. That is if you're not yet really in luxury, that starter luxury, near luxury price point is a great place to start. That's where people are moving up, maybe out of their first, regular home to a lower end luxury neighborhood rather than the uber luxury neighborhood. That is a great place to start for listings, for working with buyers. I especially love it in my area. I can get away with those homes on lockbox. Whereas if I go higher and higher in price point, I have to show, as the listing agent, I have to go and show the higher and higher priced homes. So looking at what is the near luxury areas, where's the feeder for those areas, and where are they feeding to? Because you can kind of like daisy chain those communities. Like Pete said, in your area, you have a lot of different areas, so figure out where those might be. There's a little bit less competition there. So take a look and look for that. And then understanding, is this our next section already? Hold on one sec. Like I said,
Hey, Janie, I just wanted to say one more thing.
Uh-huh.
Guys, another great niche is estates and probates,
Yep.
especially in the luxury field, because if you can get in with estate attorneys, and most states have estate attorneys that handle, designating who the agent is going to be for the family who loses a loved one. If you can get in with the estate attorneys, that's a great resource to get into luxury right there.
You know what, Pete? That made me think of something. So I think we would all agree, most of us would agree, depending on where you are in the world, that we're going through kind of a wonky time in real estate, right? Like really low inventory, buyers are kind of, sketched out. Fewer transactions in general are selling right now than they did in the years past. Probate, divorce, downsizing, these are all things, sports and entertainment, people moving, like for physicians moving because they're getting a job. Those don't change with the market. They still happen regardless of the market. If somebody passes away, normally that house is still going to get sold. If somebody's divorcing, unfortunately, that often has to do with the market because a lot of people divorce because of financial stress. That real estate normally is going to get sold. Downsizing, if somebody decides they need to downsize because they can't handle stairs or they want a smaller home, they don't care about the market. Those are market-proof niches. Divorce, downsizing, probate, job-related things if you're in an area where people are moving in and out because of jobs. So be thoughtful about that. They are projecting the next 2, maybe even 3 years before we really get popping again with real estate. That's okay. Real estate still gets done in any market, up market or down market, as long as you're on the side of the transactions being done. So figure out what are those things that we just talked about that are down market safe, insulated from down market, and dive into them during this down market. That's going to really create your solid foundation. Dive into the branding and marketing that we're going to talk about here in a little bit. And as the market starts to boom again, you are going to be that dominant agent that we talked about. So a couple common characteristics of affluent homeowners. They are normally in a little bit the older age bracket. Now that is across the world. Of course, there's other areas where affluent might be very young. San Jose, California, or different places like that where they have kind of tech people with tech money who are getting paid big things, or close to hospitals where the young physicians are coming in and being paid very, very well. But often they've reached management positions. They might be entrepreneurs. That's one thing I love about wealthy people is they normally themselves are entrepreneurs. So they appreciate the hustle. They appreciate the hard work. It may or may not be inherited, like Pete said. One area that he serves is more inherited wealth, and another is earned wealth. And those are very different personalities to work with. And I'm sure Jana has that too in the two markets that she served, the difference between inherited wealth and earned wealth, because how they react to things, what they expect out of their agents, what they expect, how they live their lives are often very, very different. So just understanding the people that you're working with. Just want to throw this out there. Avoid stereotypes and preconceived notions in any way, shape, or form, based on religious, based on background, based on sex, based on how they look, based on age, anything. I grew my teeth in luxury real estate in Miami, and that is where I found that nobody is as they seem. If they seemed to be very wealthy, there was a good chance they were not. And if they seemed not to be, they probably owned something incredible and created something incredible. So I very early in my career took off any idea that this person can afford this or this person can't afford it, because almost always I was wrong. And that just goes across the board. And I find more and more, especially when you get into super wealthy people, often you cannot tell. Like they are the most chill, relaxed people you've ever seen. It's kind of a fascinating thing. Finance and professions, small trades, athletes and celebrities, Carrie's thing, agricultural, that can be some very big money, rural and agricultural. And we do have at EXP a land and ranch division, generational wealth, which we talked about, and then non-traditional sources as well. So to wrap up, near luxury, that starter luxury can be a really great bridge to grow your luxury business by getting in with those people at the starter thing. Let's see. So, Jana, you want to give us just a quick recap of what you took from that session?
Well, so much. Oh, geez. I kind of already hit on a lot of it, but I guess knowledge is power, right? So the more you can study your market, study your competitors, and see what they're offering. I hands down believe that our EXP Luxury division is giving us the tools and the systems and the marketing and the vendors that we have negotiated with to be able to deliver. So I would just, take one or two of these. You don't have to do it all. Create that plan and just really hyper focus on it. For me, like in Indiana, my plan's a little different than it is in Naples, Florida. So, even though I've been in this business a long time, I still do the basics. I believe the basics work. So I do believe that you have to kind of go back and do some of that old school, but then you also have to incorporate, what is relevant for today. But don't be overwhelmed by it all. Like Pete said earlier, we have all this laid out for you and we have all of this negotiated. A lot of our vendors that I'm using have literally saved me about $60,000 a year just because I'm tapping in on some of this, like luxury in a box that Pete said. So don't make it difficult. Streamline it, keep it simple, and just the power of focus really does work. So, and I believe we have a special guest that's waiting in the hopper.
Hey, Lisa Copeland.
Yay.
Are you there? Can you hear me?
I am here now. I was like talking. I was muted.
Yes, welcome to our spotlight session. We love Lisa. She is actually new to our luxury program, but she is not new to luxury real estate. She is a powerhouse superstar, and we are asking you, how have you used competitive intelligence as Janie's gone through all of this to really get to where you are today in your luxury business?
Well, first of all, I just want to say hi to all my EXP family. I'm really honored to be here today. And, hopefully, I'll say something that'll spur something. But one of my favorite, Carrie, sayings is from my good friend, Grant Cardone, and it's best known beats best. And if everybody out there would write that down, because I'm telling y'all, that is what I'm in the Austin, Texas DMA. And so, but you've got to get best known. All right. And if you can become best known, if you can be known for, and I love what y'all said earlier about starting maybe at kind of the lower luxury, you know, because you have to start somewhere. You do. My average listing's probably about 900,000, but I do a lot of stuff over $1 million, over 2 million. I've got a couple right now. And it's because I got known, right? I got known for results. And so if you can get in and start, so there's an area that I work a lot. It's called Round Rock, Texas. Well, I got one big one sold, and then all the other ones started calling me, and it's been about 10 deals over probably $1.5 million, $2 million, right? So you have to get in and you have to get one. So my advice today is best known. How do you become best known for luxury? And that isn't just about selling real estate, right? That's showing up and being at places where people would own luxury real estate. One of my favorite ones is that I just joined the country club up here where I live. I live up here by the lake, and and it's amazing how many of these people play pickleball, right? And another thing that I've done that I've started a real estate club. It's free. And and I push it out to my sphere of influence, and why I'm giving them ideas about how to take money and invest it, right? I become best known. And, everyone else has gotten such amazing feedback. And so I would echo everything everybody said. What I do find that is a competitive advantage with EXP Luxury that I love, and guys and gals, I have absolutely taken deals away from Sotheby's, from the ones who think Christie's is now new in my market, and they think that they are the luxury brand. But, they hire us. They're not hiring Sotheby's. They're not hiring EXP. They're hiring you. So how do you elevate? And what has been really good for me, and I know if you guys are using it, is being able to say, that we're marketing in national pubs like the Wall Street Journal, the Robb Report, Luxury, Unique magazine. There's several, right? And to be able to show our sellers results, okay, and to show them like, hey, like, we don't just put the property in the MLS. We are actually a full service real estate brokerage that markets your property nationally and internationally. Because that's where our competitors in the past would come out and say, well, you can be in the Sotheby's magazine. Like, who cares? Like, who really have you guys ever seen a Sotheby's magazine? But everybody that I go in on a listing appointment after, they've got that Sotheby's magazine sitting there. Guys, it's fluff. So when you can show them actual results, when your clients will get a weekly email from these publications, from us, like, these are the results, this is how many eyeballs were on it, and then taking so I used to kind of make my own flyers a lot of times when I was marketing into my sphere of influence, but now I use the EXP Luxury ones because at the bottom it says as seen in, right? That's really, really impressive. And then I can take the links from the ads in the Wall Street Journal, and I put those on my social media. Why? Because that shows my whole sphere of influence. Like, wow, she's not just sticking it in the MLS, and she's just not making her own Canva. She's showing me the ad from the Wall Street Journal. Okay. And people who buy luxury property, if they're moving into your area, or people that buy luxury property, they're reading the Wall Street Journal, y'all. They are. There's a reason that they have got the assets to be a luxury buyer, because they're informed. And so I would say, Carrie, to me, that's just been amazing, to be able to go out and to show that, that we are one step ahead, that we are, and plus I love the colors. I love the black and gold. That's kind of a theme for me. See, I've got black walls. So I love the branding. I think it's so upscale. And I think that Jana said this earlier, and I do this also, I use it. I mean, I have listings right now. I've got one at 510,000 or 529, and I've got one all the way up to 2.5 million. Okay. But I am consistent with my branding, because the person that is moving into that $510,000 house, y'all, that is their castle. Okay. And we have to treat them, because there will be a day that they sell that house, they make money, and then they buy an $800,000 house, and we take good care of them, and we treat them with luxury, kindness, and respect. They're going to, as they take their journey, right, up the real estate ladder, they're going to continue to use us and to use our services. And more importantly, other people will see that we treat everybody with that luxury white glove touch.
I love it. And Lisa, you touched so much on so many good points, but as a listing agent, I know from the luxury platform that we have, when you go into a listing and you can show all those publications, it is tremendous, and it is a game changer as a listing agent to win listings. So thank you for sharing that. And my big question is, should we add pickleball as our new niche?
I know the chat is blowing up with pickleball.
Yeah.
Y'all, like seriously, like, kind of this whole ladies that lunch thing, like I used to kind of discount it. I guess maybe because I was just jealous because I wanted to be one too. But, the women that can afford, or the men, that can afford to be out there on a Tuesday at 2 o'clock playing pickleball. I mean, they've got some decent real estate. I promise you. Of course, you don't want to go out there and be like, hey, let's play pickleball. Can I sell your house? But it's
want to sell their homes, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Lisa, for coming today. You're awesome. And we have a fabulous giveaway. Jeremy, are you ready for our little?
Oh, I'm always ready to give some away. So, guys, this is from Client Giant, who is one of our valuable partners at eXp Luxury. And, they are giving away a $349 value. This is a gold transaction package. So this means while you're doing transaction, while you're currently in the transaction with that buyer or seller, it's going to send 6 unique gifts delivered over that course of time. So, people love getting stuff, and that's what this is all about. So let me go ahead and do the little drum roll.
Look at the chat blowing up.
I love it.
They know. They know Jeremy comes on. That means to say me.
The winner is, if I can pronounce this right, here it is, Anna Romero. ANAROMAO. Anna Romero. Hope you're on there still. Hope you won something. There you go. We'll follow back up in about, just a little bit. While I'm on here, guys, real quick, before we transition back to Janie, if you want to go ahead and fill out the application for eXp Luxury, I'm just going to drop in the chat for you. I'm going to drop in the chat a few times because it went by so fast. And so it's going to be in there. Go ahead and grab that, guys, so you have it. And go ahead and just go in there and fill it out. That way you get started on things. So, all right, Janie, we're going to back to you, and we'll get more stuff away here in a little bit.
All right.
Thank you, Lisa.
Okay, hold on. Let me just check this. Cool. What Lisa mentioned is like super important. I spent 8 years with the Sotheby's brand as an agent and eventually as an executive vice president of a very, very large franchise. And I was with Compass, and I knew what it was like to have really great listing distribution. And that's one of the main kind of backbone components of our luxury division offering. And we're going to get into that later on in today's training so that you can understand how we use that luxury listing distribution to help us market, to get listing opportunities, to go in with a very strong marketing plan to our listing appointments, and then win the listing appointments, and then ultimately sell the property. Because at the end of the day, it's all about selling the property, having happy clients who move on to the next chapter in their lives and keep loving on us, referring us, and keeping us as their agent of choice for the rest of their lives. So our next whole section is on building your luxury sphere and on marketing, social media marketing, branding, and all those good fun things. Are you guys enjoying this? Say yes in the chat. It's sometimes hard when you're talking into like the Ethernet or the ethosphere or whatever the word is. Yay, people are loving it. Awesome, 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 awesome. So we love giving this. We are passionate about this. Your Luxury Advisory Council, your ambassadors, and our queen, Carrie, we love this, and we are so excited to have you guys on with us too and taking all this. Okay, so let's see this. This is about social media, and this is about having the contacts. And it says 77% of realtors actively use social media for real estate in some way, shape, or form. I would probably say it's probably almost even higher than that now. And that is even if you're just on Facebook doing some stuff, or on Instagram, or really just going crazy. Using social media is probably one of the lowest barriers to entry as far as dollar, because some of the other things we were talking about requires a big dollar investment with farming. But social media is your time, your creativity, your energy, and then people get to see and hear you and really feel like they know you. And that's why it can become so powerful and really kind of shortchange or super compress the time before they feel like they really get to know you and you understand them and you have what they have to offer. And then of course, when you get to millennials, it's like 99%. I feel sorry for the person who tries to be a millennial real estate agent and really doesn't do anything with social media, because I think it's gonna be really challenging. But you do need to have a concrete social strategy, and that you're just not winging it. And a lot of that has to do, like what Jana was talking about, having branding, or what Lisa was talking about, having branding that also is seamless between different price points, different niches, so that even at a subconscious level, people are recognizing that's you. You can't be showing up one time with all your branding and all your messaging and everything looking one way aesthetically or in voice, and then another time differently, because as people scroll through things or people look at things, our attention spans are so short these days that they might not catch on to that. But if there is a thread that pulls you all together, they start to connect that. I've seen people with amazing orange as kind of their thread through everything. So even if I'm scrolling and I don't stop, but I'm seeing that same tone of orange, and that's, of course, color alone is not brand, but what I'm saying is it all kind of needs to pull together so it's recognizable, so they kind of see you, and it starts to grow such a presence that people start to think that is the person. Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever it is. We love Facebook. A lot of us who are older especially love Facebook. I think younger people might gravitate more towards TikTok or maybe Instagram, whatever, but finding that thing. Maybe video. We have some agents at our brokerage who are absolutely killing it on video. There's so much though you can do besides just showing up. You can use demographics. You can get data from demographics so that you can be addressing people in that area that you're wanting to serve, in that price point that you're wanting to serve, in those hobbies. There's so many things you can do with that data, with hashtags, with searches, with different tools like that. And it's such an interlinked kind of ecosphere, with especially Facebook and Instagram now being linked together with Meta. There's just so much you want to do. I mean, Carrie is incredibly good at this. Our special guest coming a little bit later is going to tell us how he's used Instagram and social media to completely blow up his presence. Lisa completely dominates that. What did she say? Best known over best. In real estate, that's so important. Like I said, when I moved here and I said, I want people to look around and say, where in the world did she come from? And just boom, like blow up. So I had blogging, I had expireds, but I was doing open houses, and I would use open houses as a tool to market myself, because then I could market up before the open house. I could do lives at the open house. I could do follow-ups. So just thinking of how can you start to layer your social media presence, and if you're doing farming or if you're doing something else, focused on a niche, how can you layer your social media so that you become omnipresent? And that becomes so powerful. How can you maybe partner up with influencers of that area or of that niche, so that you maybe are doing lives together or collabs together or events together? How can you get with the media in your area and get connections with the media? If there's the real estate writer for your local newspaper, find out who that is, look and see who's online for that newspaper or for that news source, and start to build a connection with them, a relationship with them. So when they are looking for somebody to speak about something real estate related in your area, they are reaching out to you. That was always one of my secret sauces of how I can get in the press a lot, is providing useful information to the journalists, the editors of the different news sources, because then when they needed something, because they need news like 3 times a day. They need morning news, they need noon news, they need afternoon or evening news, and even late night news. And they're always looking for fresh stuff. So they need to get people right away fresh. And then they blast it out on their social media. And so once you start to tap into that whole source, that can become a great thing. So think about how you can start to build your relationships, build your networks online so that you can tap into each other's connections, resources, and help each other. LinkedIn, absolutely great for professionals. So a lot of people really, really use LinkedIn in a professional setting. So if you are wanting, if you're in an area, let's say that's working with financial planners, like that's kind of your niche. Even Pete was talking about probate or divorce. LinkedIn can be a huge source of business for you, a huge source of building your network of people and highlighting them. Remember when I was saying earlier, maybe do a video if let's say a probate attorney was going to give an event. Maybe you say, I would love to come do a video about you and share that in advance of the event to try to get more traffic to the event. The more you can support people, support other entrepreneurs doing business, ideally in aligned businesses to the niche or the type of people you're typing to serve, you're trying to serve, you're going to ladder up together and grow together and become really great resources of business and traffic and attention with each other. So don't forget LinkedIn, and also LinkedIn and all the social medias, in fact, are a great place to connect with other real estate agents. I would be thinking about where are the feeder markets for my market and where are the feeder markets that my people are going to, and link up with other real estate agents in those areas as well. That's when you start to build your real estate network. Of course, you build your real estate network going to live events, attending events like this. I see you guys connecting and hanging out the chat, which I love, but then start highlighting those people on social media as well. People love to be spotlighted by other people, so they're not always highlighting themselves and shouting out themselves. So think about how can you use social media to help fellow real estate agents. Across my career, I think at least 30% of my business has always come from other real estate agents because I love to train agents. I love to help agents. I love to get in front of agents and support them. I coach, I train, I build value with other real estate agents. And in turn, they are always, if they see an opportunity, somebody's looking for somebody in Northeast Florida or St. Augustine, they're saying you need to talk to Janie and her team. So really working with other real estate agents and showcasing them can be huge. Facebook and Instagram Live is a great way to show up in front of people, doing things together. I think Carrie has done some, excuse me, recently, Carrie has done some lives together. Actually, I think you did a live with John Sy that you're going to talk about, but that's a great way to kind of bring together two audiences and showcase something. So if you have a special niche, like I saw somebody in here talking about right sizing, I don't know what area they are in. They might do an Instagram live with somebody else who does right sizing in another area, or maybe a person who helps declutter a home or get it ready. So ways that you can grow together, do lives, bring value to your target audience and help somebody else shine at the same time can also be really, really huge. So I'm just trying to check my time. Like I found my notes. They're like mini small. I can't possibly read them. So I'm still winging it, but I think I'm doing all right.
You're doing great.
Instagram for realtors is also super, super huge and a lot of fun. There's so much you can do with Instagram. One of the fun things I like to do with our listings is we have influencer events at our listings. If we have a very special listing that's unique and different, because a lot of influencers are looking for unique and special properties or backdrops or things like that, content for them. And we can get in beautiful homes all the time because we're real estate agents. So we go to events, we go to broker caravans or broker opens or things like that, or we're showing homes. So we're in these homes all the time. But people who are not in the real estate world, they don't get direct access to all these beautiful homes. So having an influencer event at one of your listings where you have like, I've actually marked out, here's the best place for photo ops. I've made kind of like little Easter egg, like find the things through the listing, especially if it's a larger listing. It's so much fun. And then give away prizes. So they now have an opportunity to have great fresh content at a really beautiful property. And they are now showing and sharing your listing out to the world, bring great real estate agents into it, and then great influencers. So that's always a super fun event. So be thinking about how you can do things like that. Oh yeah, so like your day-to-day life, people always want to know also, like, what's the day-to-day life of a real estate agent? They're so curious. That's another way to get some great traffic. And people want to know what it's like living in these areas. Like Pete spoke about, a lot of communities are gated. So if you have a listing in that gated community, you might even do like a day in the life in that community. So future prospective buyers can actually see inside that neighborhood, that community, and see what life is like even before they get to visit. Be thinking about how you can do all that. Oh, of course, sellers love video. We all love video. Video is super, super strong and so much fun. I think these days you better be shooting video if you have a luxury listing. I would definitely be incorporating drone in there if there's any lifestyle aspect to the property as well. If it's on a golf course near the ocean, on a lake, ski, and really conveying that whole entire lifestyle, not just the property, but the lifestyle they're going to be living. I think it's huge. I don't think it's anything that people cannot do anymore. It's just part of what we need to do. I'm sure you all have seen some beautiful luxury listings that are almost like little mini movies where they have scripted out with people living the lifestyle, and it's so much fun. There's a couple agents that I love following them because they're so creative with their videos. That's another way to stand out. So 4 reasons to use video: differentiate yourself, build trust. Google loves video. We all know that. And like I said earlier, video lives on forever. Like for search engine stuff, I'm still getting equestrian stuff from years ago because people are searching horse properties in Miami. And sellers and buyers love it. So branding is the foundation of your marketing. You do have to be thoughtful about the direction, consistency. I think Jana spoke a lot about consistency earlier, effectiveness of the branding and how it links it all together. So fundamentals of your branding. Think about your branding. Your brand, of course, is not just colors and font and logo. It's kind of a whole vibe. It's who you are, how they expect to deal with you. Do you come off as approachable and kind of like the person next door, or do you come off as very polished and professional and aspirational? Whatever that is, that kind of needs to link all the way through. It's a promise of what clients can expect when they work with you. I think that's a great phrase. Key branding points for luxury agents: do understand and know what your value proposition is. So with Lisa, for example, she mentioned was it better known as better, best, better? Well, you know what I'm saying. But people know that
beats best.
Best known beats best. So people know if they list with Lisa, she's going to get their property out there because she is best known. She is very well known. So they know part of her value proposition is extreme exposure and coverage. She has a great audience. She has a defined aesthetic. We talk a lot about aesthetic and having that, so it's identifiable, right? Credibility comes from people seeing you walk the walk and talk the talk. And I don't mean of yourself living a luxury lifestyle. Some luxury agents do live a luxury lifestyle, and that is their lifestyle. Some are less so. Like I choose not to. That's not my vibe. I love to sell luxury real estate, and I put my money somewhere else. I actually put my money into travel. But I understand luxury very well. So they know that when they talk with me, they have a listing appointment with me, that the credibility comes through because of my market knowledge, my past sales, my experience. And if you don't yet have the past sales and experience, you can still have the market knowledge. You can still make yourself a student of your market. Every day, look at the hot sheet. Every day, see what's coming on, what's selling, what's not selling. Every day, if there's broker opens or caravans, go to those so you understand. You go in, look and see, are there architects that are coming up over and over and over? Are there special appliances or features? You can get that market knowledge before you've ever sold a single home. And that's what's really, really important to know. It's not necessarily that you've been doing this forever or you live in that kind of home, but that you know the market. Super, super important. Differentiation. And then of course, consistency is super important. Jana talked a lot about that with her branding. So your value proposition is a simple statement that clearly communicates the product or service benefit you promise or deliver to your customers. So think about what that is and start to weave that in all your messaging and communications. What do clients want? Top dollar price, fast, discreet, hassle-free. Pete spoke a lot about discretion. As you go up higher in price point, discretion often becomes more and more important, especially if you're dealing with C-suite people, sports, entertainers. Discretion becomes very, very important. So don't, if you end up working with somebody like that, don't assume it's okay to go blast it after you've closed the sale, because it might be something they want very, very private. Intel for properties and areas, that's something also, as you go up in price point, the people buying or selling really know that area very, very well, and they're expecting you to have equal or better intel on that. So why did that property down the street sell a little bit lower than it should have? And you might be able to say, well, I know that they had a family emergency and they needed to move and they just wanted to get rid of it so they could move on. But having that kind of intel becomes very, very important. And then deal making skill, negotiation skill. The higher we get in price point, the more what I call real estate magic is required. And what I mean by real estate magic is these deals become more complex. The people sometimes become more complex. The problem solving, the deal making, all of those are skills that you need to work on and hone. And it's not just an easy, it's not always just an easy thing. It's being very creative. And as you hone your skills and as you hone your knowledge, you can be creating real estate magic too. And I promise you, once you've created real estate magic for one person, you become their go-to agent always. And they tell all your friends and family about that. And it happens to be, as you go up in price point, these kinds of opportunities to be really a great agent shine and give you more and more opportunity because there are such unique and special things going on, whether it's funding, financing, unique deal structures, timing, all these things. It's a lot of fun. And it's a way to really, that creates your value proposition. What can you offer? Tangibles will be, of course, a network of buyers and sellers if you have that. If you don't yet have that, that's what you're wanting to build. Extraordinary advertising program. We're going to talk a little bit later today about how we help you offer that through EXP's luxury division. A specialized team. So a team becomes more and more important. You're amazing photographer, amazing videographer, drone operator, amazing stager, amazing marketing people, maybe even a copywriter, maybe a caterer if you're going to do an event, but having that specialized team or a probate attorney or all the different things. So having these people on call ready to go can become the thing that helps you really stand out because they see, okay, you've got it all together. Pete knows what's going on. I'm not going to have to worry about this because hassle-free is often very, very important for wealthy people. They have too many other things going on in their life to worry about all these things. So as much as you can provide a hassle-free, top shelf, seamless experience, the more they will value you. And then intangibles, of course, work ethic, transparency and discretion, negotiation skills, and creative solutions. Your audience, does your brand reflect your client's self-image and desires? That's what I spoke about before, is you have to figure out who is your likely audience so that you show up in a way that matches the kind of person that they're going to be looking for to help them buy or sell real estate. So what I mean by that, when I sold in Miami, it was not uncommon for a very high-end real estate person to maybe show up in athleisure wear on a boat to a showing because that was the lifestyle. But there's other places that wouldn't fly at all. There's other places in where people are going to expect you, like Pete right now, with a jacket and a tie because that's how they are. So matching what your audience expects. There's other places where people might not feel comfortable if their agent showed up in a tie and jacket. So you have to kind of match what your client is expecting for the people that in the area that you seek to serve. Are you speaking their language? And that comes, a lot of the are you speaking your language comes down to the hobbies and interests and the special aspects of the properties that they are selling. So like I spoke about waterfront properties, you have to be able to understand about speaking about depth and tide and drafts and things like that, because that's going to be important to them. Or if you're talking to somebody from a horse property, again, they're going to have different language. So if you're going for a niche, you do have to understand all that language that they're talking about. Also, of course, if you are dealing with people from moving from another state, another province, and they're often coming. So Jana has a lot of people moving to Naples. Probably there's a few areas within the US they're moving from. They might do real estate very, very differently where they're moving from. So here in Florida, we have a lot of people moving from New York. Real estate is done very differently in New York as it is in Florida. But having worked with many, many, many New York buyers, I'm able to understand where they're coming from. So that's part of understanding their language so they feel comfortable that you get what's going on. And then we did talk about personal aesthetics so that you are showing up in a way that is comfortable for you, that's reflective of who you are and how you want to show up for your prospective clients. It has to be authentic, so you're not putting on a show, because that will also, people feel that. You just have to be authentic to you. So I myself am maybe a little more understated than some people. So the people who that resonates with are going to be attracted to me. There's other people who are definitely put together in a different way, and the people are going to be connected to them. People are going to be drawn to the authentic you. You just have to be the best version of you possibly can be. But being authentic to yourself and unique can be really, really cool and different. And again, reflect your audience. So
Hey,
credibility.
Hey, Jamie, I'm sorry to interrupt, but in about 3 minutes, we're going to have to bring John on just so he's able to talk
Got
before
it.
he head out.
I think we're almost done here.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you pointing that out. Credibility comes from your reputation, your knowledge, and your experience. Of course, if you don't yet have the experience, that's going to come, but you can build your knowledge right away, starting today, and then reputation will come from both of those two. Let me see. Differentiation. Talked a little bit about that. Consistency. We've already talked about the power of consistency, especially on social media. Consistency in life is very, very important, but consistency on social media is extremely important if you're using social media for business, because the algorithm loves consistency. So key branding points for luxury agents, value proposition, audience, aesthetic, credibility, differentiation, and consistency. So let's wrap up here real fast. I would have a style guide where you have your colors, your fonts. We, of course, have that at EXP. Many of us have blended our own aesthetic with the EXP luxury style, but whatever it is for you, don't be changing colors, fonts, and everything all the time. Personal imagery, the lovely, beautiful Miss Jana. Always have a great professional headshot, a full body shot, knockout version with the background removed, high and web resolutions. And then having great materials, cards, things like that, that all blend together. This is also Jana's beautiful card, very high quality stock with embossed, a little bit of gold accents, can make it look really, really nice. Pete, we're gonna swap you with John. We're gonna let John go first, and then we'll bring you in.
Hey, John.
Good
Can you
morning,
hear me?
good afternoon, wherever you are.
Yes, welcome. John and I have been working together. I met him a month ago, and we're working on Build Vancouver. But John, a part of the luxury program, we're so excited for you to be on here. You are an amazing person. You're such a giver, but also a rock star in real estate. Look, you have 213,000 followers on Instagram. So in following up what Janie is talking about, how have you used your marketing and branding skills to do a phenomenal 200 million in volume in sales annually, which is incredible. So give us some of your insights.
Yeah, thank you for this. I'm one of the first, also one of the first EXP luxury agents in Vancouver. So we do luxury, so I'm one of them. So thank you very much for all that you do, guys. It's a phenomenal program. So every single year, we do about 15 to 17% of our transactions from agent referrals. And, believe it or not, that's all coming from Instagram. It's all coming from social media. A lot of my business from my past clients don't come from social media. So I think if you're looking for international and global referrals, like you need to be on social, and just what Janie talked about, consistency and providing value and really creating that brand for yourself is absolutely crucial. I built my business through cold calling, hard work, and networking and door knocking and just basically pounding the pavement. But I built up my branding and reputation based on my hard work. And then that was before social media. But after social media came, I put that all on social media. Then it started to blow up on there as well. So I'm known as a guy who works really hard. And so people want to give you business if they know you work really hard and gets the job done. And so, I'm never going to stop. Never going to retire. And that's what people know me as the hardworking guy. So if you put that on social media, you'll get those referrals. And that's how I've been able to build the business that we have today. Obviously, we have a 75 agent team, and that's how we're able to sell 200 million every single year. But a lot of that started from the hard work that I put in from day one. So thanks for allowing me to share.
Well, I know you're on the time crunch. Thank you so much for sharing, and we appreciate you so much. Yes. And the thing he said, I definitely relate to. Sometimes video, depending on who we are, is hard, but it is your image. And like he said, how does the world know what you are doing if we don't put it out there? And, forever it was like the pictures 10 years ago, but now it truly is so video driven. And another thing, a takeaway, Janie, that I had is if you look at the different platforms, there's definitely LinkedIn is it could be a niche in its own, because it is not, I'm going to say, as crowded as the others for attention. LinkedIn is just really showing up, which is our business every day, is showing up and going out. I always say, you got to, kill what you eat, right? Every day. So, the great points by John, Janie, this is phenomenal. Pete, I know you have got some amazing points, so take it away.
Thanks so much, Carrie. Yeah, I think the game has changed a lot, and it's changing even more with AI, and we have to all get in tune with this. Social media is huge. I love that John was on. He is the president up there in Canada for EXP Canada. He's a great guy. And it just shows you the power of not only doing the basics, but also taking a new approach, you guys. What I feel is coming and what I'm doing, I'll share this with you, and I'm kind of following Jana's lead. She's been doing great at this, is we have to start doing geo-social farming. All right, geo-social farming and marketing, because your personal brand is going to precede you into the door, and you're going to be top of mind. The whole goal is to be top of mind. And how do you become top of mind? You have to almost become a celebrity with videos on social media, because a lot of people, I think the average American spends 4 hours a day on social media. That's the average. It's crazy, right? And I never knew that. I heard that stat the other day, but it's really, really important when it comes to your marketing that you have a good social media presence. I have a so-so one right now. I'll admit that. I'm going to up that. That's my goal over the next few months. And here's the deal. Just be authentic, be yourself, be original. I'm not saying you have to show your family all the time or what you do personally, but you have to mix it up. If you look at most of the people that are doing, that's what they do. And we have a lot of great social media content on the EXP Luxury Marketing Portal. We're always updating that, especially when there's holidays and things going on. So I think that's super important. It's real easy, you guys. We made this so easy. Jana, Janie, Ed, Tina, I, Carrie, Charlie, Stephanie, everybody involved. We made this so easy for you. It's just plug and play. So don't get overwhelmed. Make sure you join EXP Luxury immediately. Do not miss out. Do not wait one more day. Go to join.expluxury.com. It's super important, you guys, because it will elevate your business. It'll elevate your lifestyle, it'll elevate your production, it'll elevate everything in your life, but that's the big thing. You have to brand yourself. And the key thing right now is traditional branding and, new wave branding with AI and geo on social media.
Somebody
Those
asked
are my
in
tips.
the comments what you're doing with geosocial. How does that work?
Well, I'm going to have a concept where I'm going to be hitting a lot of clients in a lot of geographical areas with social media. So I'll be popping up in their feeds all the time. And it won't just be me, it'll be certain topics. It'll be hot topics like what's going on with the NAR settlement, what's happening in their neighborhood, what are the market reports, how are houses selling. You know, there's going to be a lot of calls to action. That's what I'm working on. When I get it all worked out, you guys, I promise I will bring it to you. And you do not have to do anything. You just copy it. Okay. I believe in bringing it and sharing it and copying it. Janie knows that.
I love it. Thanks, Pete. All right. Who wants to do our giveaway? Jeremy?
There it goes. It's gonna roll. The chat.
All right, guys, another fun time. This is going to be a great one. This is one of my
Perfect.
favorite
Look at
giveaways
it
of all
go.
time. I love it. This is one of my favorite giveaways of all time, guys. This is the eXp Luxury video presentation. So this is a presentation, basically an open box presentation. You open it up and the video plays. You can put any video on it. It is an amazing asset for especially approaching sellers and just showing off how awesome you are. So this is a great tool, guys, just to roll with. So we're going to give this thing away right now. And the winner is, scroll, let's go to the bottom. The winner is, pick this one, is Paula Quinn. Paula Quinn. I don't know if you're on here or not. It says you are, but congratulations, Paula. We'll write you down and get back to you on it. Love it. All right, guys, we are going to keep on chugging along.
Jeremy's like the Bob Barker of giving away gifts.
That's
Oh, we
perfect.
have one more. We have one more.
All right, let's do it again. I love it. All right, so Paula, you want
This
the only
one,
winner here?
though, this one has to be for somebody who's either already in EXP Luxury or who joins EXP Luxury.
All right, so here we go. We're gonna
that-
hold it. So we're gonna hold this for you if you're not a current EXP Luxury agent until you become one, and then when you
Okay,
become
there
one,
you go.
we're gonna give this to you. Okay? So here we go. Win a logo and a co-brand suite. By the way, this is an amazing package that gives your branding a kind of a big enhancement, which everybody needs that. So here we go. You guys ready? And the winner is. Oh, who is it? Yolanda Fanning. Yolanda Fanning. So Paula Quinn, Yolanda Fanning. I'm going to write those down, guys, so I don't forget them. And then be sure to get back to you ASAP on those guys. Congratulations, guys. Back to you.
Yes.
As Carrie said when we started, this is our first live online event. We've put a lot of effort into pulling it together, and it looks like you guys are enjoying it. So if you'd like to see more events like this, say yes or give us some hearts or something in the chat, because Carrie and I and Pete and Jana and Jeremy, we love to get all that feedback. So awesome. We thought it was a great way to bring it to you right in your office, your home, your kitchen table, wherever it is that you're sitting. Maybe you're listening to it in your car, but we appreciate you spending 3 hours with us today. And we have a whole hour left. So hopefully you guys are going to stay with us to the end. Like Carrie said, we have some more prizes at the end. We have other fun stuff. And we are super, super excited to be spending time with you. And we just want you to take one nugget from today and apply it to your business, and then come back to us and say, I did that thing, Jana, that you talked about, and oh my gosh, it was great. I did that thing, Pete, or I did this thing, Jeremy, of the prize I won, whatever it is. That's what we love, and that's why we've devoted so much time and love and passion into helping create this division. You might not know there are a lot of people at EXP Corporate who have backgrounds at Sotheby's Corporate, who have backgrounds at Compass Corporate. We have an amazing team behind us. And as you see, I feel so honored and excited about the brand that we've built, because like Jana said, it transcends price points, because we realize that luxury in different parts of the world is different. So sometimes it's more neutral and understated. Sometimes it's more rich and heavy and sexy. We've built a brand that kind of transcends, that you can go one way or the other, depending on you, your personality, the personality of the people that you serve in the area that you serve. And I love all of our branding, because I just feel it's so elegant yet accessible, which I get super, super excited. And that leads us into our final discussion of the training before we tell you about our division specifically. And that's about how important a really great buyer and seller presentation is. Certainly a seller presentation is what you're going to take when you go on a listing appointment, but your buyer presentation, if you haven't had it dialed in up until now, is something that you're really going to have to perfect as we get, if you're in the US, as we get to that time in the US where things are going to change with the NAR settlement, where you're going to have a buyer presentation that is exactly like going on a seller presentation, where you're working to get in agreement with them for a signed agreement. So just making sure that you have pulled together really great resource to share with your buyers. We here at EXP, and Pete and I a lot, really worked with our corporate partners to create a beautiful buyer's guide that really goes over and explains all the things that buyers may or may not know about the buying process, and how what you do as a professional is going to help them get there better, smoother, easier, maybe help save them money because of your negotiation skills, your market knowledge. And we've completely created this buyer's guide so that you can also make it unique to your area. So you can change up the imagery. If you're more rural and have farms, you can change the imagery for that. If you're in an urban area or condos or whatever, you can change it up for that, and then get all the nuances of what a buyer needs to know in your area. So here I'm in coastal Florida. People who are moving to coastal Florida and don't know, we have very high insurance, right, Jana? Like, we have insurance that can knock you off your feet. But at the same time, we don't have state property tax. I mean, we don't have state income tax. We have property tax, but not state income tax. I'm in a flood prone area, so that's important for people. So you can make your buyer's guide specific to the area that you serve, so that you are being the person helping to educate them so that they understand all of that. Where Jana has one of her teams in Indiana, that might be an overview of all the different communities, because all the different communities have different amenities, different benefits, because somebody moving into town might not know the difference between those communities. So she's really upping her game and her professionalism and what she brings to the table. So we have made this beautiful buyer's guide that you can custom create for yourself. You can have it printed at a printer so that it's really great stock and great quality. Or if you have a good printer, you can even add information specific to that buyer. But this is the kind of tool that's going to help you have a proper buyer consultation before you start working with somebody, so that you can have the conversation around the buyer broker agreement, and them to understand why working with you is going to be so helpful and so beneficial for them, so that they're going to be willing to sign a buyer broker agreement. So you have that protection that you're going to need come August. Certainly, we understand some parts of the country in the US, you already use that, but there's a lot of parts of the country that don't. And now it's going to get even more competitive working with buyers, and also basically making sure that you are being paid a professional fee that is in alignment with the value that you bring to the buyers, and having that great presentation is going to be part of that. And you see that branding goes all the way through, just having that clean brand along with your social presence brand, along with your business cards. You saw Jana's cards earlier that are so gorgeous. It's all seamless. It provides a seamless experience from the very beginning, maybe when they become aware of you on social media, all the way through to when you're actually meeting with them, either on a Zoom if they're not local, or in person. The next thing is, of course, we have a beautiful luxury listing presentation where we at EXP Luxury Division have created this same thing. You can sexy it up so it's nice and rich and dark, or you can make it more neutral if that's more appropriate to the area you serve. You can change the imagery to be appropriate to the types of homes and the types of people that you work with, and then add a lot about yourself, your bio, your background, your success stories, your case studies, whatever it is. But having great materials, whether you're at EXP or anywhere else, the materials that you give people when you meet in person becomes so, so, so important. The quality of the paper, the quality of the printing, the quality of the imagery, it all has to feel very good and very appropriate for everything else in their life. It has to feel seamless, because if it feels off, if the quality of the paper or the print or just everything you've written in there doesn't feel at their level, that's going to be a miss with them. So put a lot of effort into your presentations and understanding them. It doesn't mean that you're going to read a presentation page by page by page. It's often something, it's like the backup dancer that you might refer to a little bit in your presentation. You might leave it behind, but you do have to have great presentation materials. Super, super important. Open house signage or just signage in general can really set the tone before people even meet you, because they're seeing your signage, they're seeing your team signage out around in the area. In my area here in St. Augustine, Florida, in Northeast Florida, we are the Gorgeous Florida Homes Network. So our signs are very distinctive. People recognize our signs. Pete Middleton has very recognizable, beautiful signs. Jana has really great materials of what she puts out. Even you do some billboards and moving trucks and everything, right, Jana? So that brand, that feel comes all the way through everything she does. So that branding that she's put out with her moving trucks and her billboards is going to look exactly like the listing presentation that she or her team members is going to bring when they go meet with a seller. So bringing that all together. We also have in the luxury division, we have farming templates. So meaning just listed, just sold, market reports, things like that. Who was it earlier? Somebody had mentioned where we do have like a design center that makes it just super easy. You're not having to create everything from scratch or on your own. Tide charts, very important in my area because people are voters, so they're wanting to know that kind of information. Open house invitations and things like that. As a recap for your materials, is our next guest ready too, by the way, Carrie?
She's in the room. If we can bring her up here.
Okay, so as a recap, you want high quality, professionally designed materials. This is not a go at your own kind of thing. You can use Canva, but maybe you use somebody who's familiar with Canva who can bring it together so that it looks polished and professional. The other thing I would say with branding and aesthetics, that as people enter the luxury market, sometimes they think fancy with a lot of things means luxury. And as you've seen with most of our graphics today, a lot of times it's one large, powerful image with some words. It's not necessarily a ton of words, a ton of swirls, a ton of things like that. So fancy doesn't mean always luxury. It has to feel clean, crisp, professional, and thoughtfully designed. Consistency, we've talked a lot about that. Having a brand guideline with colors, fonts, everything that kind of transcends everything you do. Less is more. We just talked about that. And focus on essentials first. Having really great cards, like great stock cards that feel great in the hand, is probably the first thing I would invest in. The second thing I'd invest in is really great yard signs. So you have great yard signs and then go from there. Okay, Jana, we're going to swap you with our guest and then
back to
bring
Jana.
you back in as a recap.
We have the fabulous Veronica. Can you hear us?
You should be able to use your camera now, Veronica. You should be good to go on that.
Hi, I hear you. Yes. Hi, everyone.
Veronica. Welcome.
Hi. How are you?
We are wonderful, and thank you for coming to our first live ever online luxury training. We appreciate you being here. And
Honored.
As our question to you, as you are a team leader of one of the most productive teams at eXp Realty, congratulations. It's amazing what you have accomplished. Our question to you is coming off of what Janie has gone over, our buyer and seller presentations. How impactful and powerful is that? Have you used in building your teams to its success?
Oh, absolutely. It's so important. And by the way, thank you guys for sharing all the amazing tools and resources that we now have available at eXp Luxury. I'm a fan, and we're actually super excited to continue to just improve our business with these tools and resources. So we're actually in a season of revamping because we have so many new cool tools as a result to this new luxury division. But we've been very consistent throughout our business with listing presentations, buyer presentations, training our agents the same way, making sure sure that we are consistent in the offering that we have with our buyers and sellers. And of course, our listing team, our team is a pretty solid, strong, consistent listing team. And it's because we train together. We meet, we role play, we go over, again, what are the different things that sellers go through? What are the different reasons that they're selling? What are the different strategies to sell, their home? It's not always a traditional strategy. So we not only practice our, and role play our presentation, but we also hold each other accountable. We discuss what are the challenges that we might be facing, what our sellers might be facing. And it has been one of the reasons I believe we have been able to scale to the number that we do. We're a very heavy listing team. We meet every Wednesday to go over every single listing to make sure that we understand what are some of the, again, the listing challenges or some of the wins. And it's, again, comes down to accountability, consistency, but we train. Anything that we have on our listing presentation, every agent is required to be able to present it to us. We have a lead listing agent who has done hundreds and hundreds of listings, and they also play a role as a mentor to our agents. So we make sure that, again, before you can go out there and serve a client, we have put you through a intense training to make sure that you are conveying on the message clearly and that you're representing our brand in a professional manner and that our sellers are getting excellence. And again, we leverage, again, we've been blessed and, we represent a lot of different price points, but we leverage, of course, our presentation for a more affordable product, but also we have, a more enhanced version for our higher price points. But ultimately, we want to give everyone a consistent experience. So yeah, it's definitely extremely important. And we're always looking to evolve. We're always looking to improve. And that's why, again, we meet to make sure that if there's something that we need to, learn, or if there's new trends or things that we need to be doing as a listing team, let's say, because we learned that perhaps we weren't offering something, we come together and we make sure that we either add it to our presentation or we're training on it. If there's an alternative way of selling a home, because let's say it's not, suitable for the seller to sell in the traditional market, we train to make sure that we understand the options that our sellers have. So for us, it's extremely important. We are obsessed with listings. We feel that, again, it continues to position us as industry leaders, and people come to us to solve problems. They come to us to help them in their journey of whether it's transitioning, whether it's, whatever situation they might be going through in life. I think they're still people, regardless of the price point. So we want to understand what people are going through, and it comes through practice. It comes through preparation. It comes through, again, just improving your skill set by having a team that can hold you accountable and share the experiences that they've had. So hope that helps.
That's absolutely amazing. Fantastic input. I'm sorry, Carrie, actually, her power went out. And so she went off real quick, but it was awesome. Janie?
Yeah, Veronica, thank you so much. She is a complete superstar team leader, entrepreneur, visionary, and to have her on with us and to sharing how she helps her team be so successful in winning listings, because you don't often see high performance teams listing focused. A lot of times you see teams that are buyer focused. So that is a super, super amazing skill set that you are teaching them. So thank you so much for being on.
And Janie, one of the things I want to emphasize is that everyone should be focused on listings, right? And, I think Jana and I both, right, we were talking about the truck. I heard you guys talk about the truck. Our entire truck is wrapped around how to generate guaranteed cash offers. The message is clear that we are listing focused. Our truck is wrapped that it also says now hiring experienced listing agents. So we want to help agents know that this is the team that generates a lot of listings. And we also have a very intentional message, like, we don't just sell your home the traditional way. I'll give you an example. We have a $1.6 million listing right now that qualifies for Homeward. The home is not, the seller is not in the condition physically to personally, want people, to have a lot of people come through the home. So personally has opted into alternative, and Homeward is a higher price point iBuyer alternative. These are the kind of things we train our agents on, to understand what options are out there and not just think I have to put a sign in the yard and sell it. Either way, we are still selling it traditional. We still do the traditional marketing, but everything we do is like, hey, we are a specialist in listings. We understand that listings, working with a strong listing agent is going to increase your chances of selling your home the right way for the most amount of money, but also get you there based on your terms. So whether it's Homeward, we leverage Homeward, we leverage, alternative methods of selling their home, but our messaging out there is very clear. We are the team that can get your home sold. So listings are our bread and butter.
Awesome.
Hey, Veronica, you and Janie must be lights out because mine literally just went out. So I missed a hair of that, but I know you brought so many amazing nuggets to our group. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Love what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, V.
I feel like I'm the only one doing the recap, so I don't want to keep talking all the time.
No, there's
but,
two recaps you, two
I
recaps
have to
me.
love, actually, Veronica, we both got our trucks from On the Move Trucks, who's been in business forever, but Veronica was on the front cover of this past, their publication. And yesterday I opened up and I was in the middle section. So we had 2 EXP trucks in their portfolio this past month. And they actually were highlighting our brand new graphics, and we all made them the EXP luxury. And, so you can have a moving truck and offer that as a service and it still be considered luxury. So, that's just another little niche. This is my 3rd moving truck. It's a rolling billboard, but it's definitely a value-added service. So, for any of you who are considering it, it's been one of the best things I've done for branding in my local marketplace.
Absolutely.
So just a recap on the buyer and seller presentations. If you don't have one, I would just honestly go into your dashboard under your EXP luxury dashboard and just plug and chug your picture, your contact information, and print it out on the high quality paper, bind it, and you'll have one within minutes. If you already have one, let's say you've been in the business and you have a buyer book or a seller book, similar to what Veronica was sharing, that is, we've been using these, right? But they always get old and they're dated. So what I've done is I've just taken everything the EXP Luxury gave and I just implemented it into mine, and still kept the meat of my old one, but then edited it and revamped it. We're using these now in our buyer consultations. They've come in handy because it's just, setting us apart. Clearly you can sit down and go through page by page, and that's your buyer consultation, and you're going to be able to deliver value. So just highly recommend you guys tap in. If you're not a member yet, you will have this available to you, and it's just a plug and chug, and you'll be able to have instantly a wonderful, beautiful buyer presentation as well as a listing presentation.
Awesome. Thank you, Jana.
Hey, Jana, one of the questions that somebody had was, how long is your printed presentation? Do you know?
One of them is, it's pretty long. I have a shorter version and a longer version. We have a lot in there, but I'd rather have it all in there and be able, you know what I mean? And it's a guide for my agents, especially my team agents. I'm not doing all these presentations myself. It's a guide for them to follow and to not forget something. Especially on the buyer side, but we've used them like my entire career, but they're like Pete said, and Veronica's like, you have to constantly be adding to them. And now with all the changes, this is the meat of it all. We have to be able to have this and articulate the value. We used to just mail them to people or have a courier hand deliver them, but now we're actually emailing them as well. And again, it's like dating someone. We have to start dating these buyers before they marry us, right? So let's date them. And that's one of the things we're going to do when we're dating them, so they can fall in love with us, so they can ultimately marry us.
Yes, I love it. And look at the chat rolling with all the
It's going already.
Yes.
All right, guys. So this is going to be.
And they know.
And I was actually the other day, I said,
up. They're like,
base,
I want
second base,
it.
third base before you get married, right?
I love it. All right, guys. So we are going to give away this amazing prize. This is a Peliman Systems, which this includes, guys, the thermal binding tool. This is going to include the hardcover binders. This is include the elegant presentation box. This is the full package, as we would say. So this is one you definitely want to win. And so everybody give me a big drum roll.
Da-da-dum.
I love it. And the winner is Robin Flint. Robin Flint.
Yes.
I've got your name down, Robin, and we're going to keep chugging along, guys. So we're going to got one more section left, I believe, Janie, before we got kind of the big stuff. And then, guys, if you ever want to see inside of our dashboard, if we have time at the end of this, maybe we'll show the inside. Totally up to you guys if we have time. I may not have time. We may get you back on a different one. But, guys, keep on hanging loose and listen to Janie. Here we go.
All righty. I'm just loving this. I just want this to go on forever. It's so fun. You guys are awesome in the audience. I love your participation. Carrie is awesome. Jana, Pete, Jeremy, like super hot pants. Awesome. So we are going to wrap it up. I have this condition that I don't get phrases right. I don't know if you've already heard it in the last 2.5 hours that I botch. There's a term for it. I botch phrases all the time. I can speak
Mine's
on
cliches. I can't say cliches.
So what we're going to do now that we've given you kind of a condensed version of our luxury training about mindset, about branding, about luxury clientele, about all these things, and we've mentioned here and there about our luxury division, we're going to spend the next 15-20 minutes just giving you a under the hood, so to speak, overview of our division that we have all helped craft and create. And we are so excited, like Jana said, and Pete and myself, the tools that we have access to in the division save us tens of thousands of dollars. And this is not theoretical tens of thousands of dollars. This is real life saving versus what we were spending before this division was created, because what we have done has gone out and find best of class service providers on all these different things. And because they like our company, they see our vision, they've given us really, really great preferential treatment. So there's a kind of foundational aspect to our luxury division of what you get for the your annual membership with the division. And then we have a bunch of additional vendors and service providers who have given us steep discounts. So now we're going to roll into that. And then we have even more prizes, even more stuff. So stay tuned all the way. We've got 37 more minutes. And then for those who want, depending on if Mr. Jeremy is free, maybe we'll stay on a little bit later for those who want to stay on afterwards to get a real live look at our dashboard. What we're super excited about, eXp is absolutely the first cloud brokerage, but our division is the first global luxury cloud brokerage, which is a really, really huge. We have listing exposure that can compete with anybody. We have global exposure that can compete with anybody. We have 24 countries in our eXp family, and at least, Carrie, how many global?
Currently 12, including the United States, and we're working on the others.
Okay, awesome. So thank you for that. Amazing networking, as you probably saw in the chat. We have a lot of our members in different parts of the world on the chat, and that allows them to network with each other. That allows them to share with their buyers and sellers how they're networking with each other, to understand real estate in other parts of the country, and just to connect and help do business together. Super, super exciting. So our whole goal is to help you sign and sell more luxury listings. To get to that luxury listing appointment is the first one, to win the luxury listing, and then ultimately to sell it, because it doesn't do you any good to have a luxury listing that doesn't sell. It can be extremely frustrating and costly in both time and money. So our tools really help do that. So part of it, and the foundational part of it, and my favorite part, and where I've spent $20,000 a year up until we had this luxury division, using these same tools, was to get that luxury listing distribution that I think Lisa spoke about earlier, where she's talking about when we list a property, it will go out to the Robb Report, it will go out to the Wall Street Journal. But what it this little thing here is an example of our customized marketing plan. And so all I need, if I'm going on listing presentation, I have my listing presentation that I've created from the marketing center. That's about me, my market, things like that. But then as long as I can get a picture of that listing, which can be a drive-by with my cell phone. I've done Google Street Views. I've pulled it if it was an expired listing and it hasn't changed. I might have pulled it down from the MLS, but all I need is one picture of the listing and the address, and I drop it in our system. And as you notice, this is the same image here. So our marketing plan spits out this beautiful 20-odd page marketing plan for that seller, for that property, with that listing already populated up, mocked up into all these different listing distribution providers. So we can say, this is how you're going to look in the Robb Report. This is how you're going to look in the Wall Street Journal. This is how I market your property, how I expose your property to the highest number of qualified buyers for your property. And they are so blown away because they see and they think you've actually created this whole thing. Literally, it takes longer to print the document than it does to create the document. But it's such an amazing presentation. And you can see this one is in a hardcover binder. The prize we just gave away from Peliman. Peliman is one of our service providers for hardcover binders, where you can actually order hardcover binders, either EXP branded or even your own personal logo or team logo branded on that cover. And with that machine, it will bind it so you're taking them a book about their listing and how you are going to market their listing. It is an absolute amazing, amazing tool. Also, when we list a property through eXp Luxury Division, just with a click of a button, once we list it, it actually goes out to all those listing distribution channels and creates a beautiful dedicated listing website, a single listing website. Absolutely, with responsive design, so people can look at it on mobile, tablet, cell phone, desktop, whatever, and it's going to shift and move around so it works specifically for that device without you, again, having to lift a finger, do anything other than push activate. That's it. Like Pete said, it's basically a brand in a box. We have a beautiful design center with our brand guidelines, our colors, our fonts, our beautiful business cards, all the materials. So it just makes everything so easy. And like Jana said, Pete said, I did. We've blended our own personal brands or our team brands along with the luxury brand so that we can play it up for higher priced properties. We can kind of play it down, but it's still a single brand across all price points. And Jana mentioned that earlier. One of my earlier mentors in real estate spoke about, if you go to Tiffany, the store Tiffany's, and you buy a little, like they have those keychains, right? Those little silver keychains. It's probably one of the lower priced things at the Tiffany store versus, say, a gazillion-dollar diamond engagement ring. It still comes in a beautiful blue Tiffany box with the white ribbon. They walk around the counter to give you the little bag because it is the same brand across all price points. And that's kind of what we're trying to create for you, is where you can take your own brand, your personal brand or your team brand, and blend it with luxury and go a little down on price point, maybe without the luxury logo for your mid-price properties, or go all the way up as much as you want. So just having these gorgeous, gorgeous materials helps make it so simple and easy to do. We have yard signs, we have business cards, we have all kinds of print material, brochures, single page brochures, multi-page brochures, direct mail postcards, anything and everything. A ton of social media graphics. Pete was talking about that earlier. And this is an example of the different pages in that marketing plan that you would take on the listing presentation, where we're talking about, I'm going to advertise you in Mansion Global, in Barron's, in James Edition. James Edition is like Craigslist for the super wealthy, where the categories are high-end automobiles, watches, real estate. And wealthy people often are very familiar with James Edition. So to say that their property is going to be advertised on James Edition can be like, wow, cool. I didn't know that you could do that. Unique Homes, Robb Report, Market Watch, Upmarket, all of that. And if you can tell, I don't know if you can tell in this image, again, there's one property in all of these because whomever was going on this listing presentation uploaded their picture, put the address, and push create, and it created this presentation that looks absolutely stunning, put together then with your listing presentation in that bound book or folder or whatever. But totally, totally impressive, including also 80 plus international sites. So you can talk about how you're going to get their property international exposure, kind of like the Zillows of France and Spain and Italy, or all these different international sites. Very, very, very impressive presentation. And it's so easy. Before we were using these tools, I had to create all of that myself. Me and my admin had to create these all ourselves. We had to list those. And then once it's listed, like I said, you push activate. Once it's listed, about 5 to 7 days later, you get what's called a media kit, where you get a PDF with actual live links to the listing at each one of those different online listing distribution sites. That's what Lisa Copeland was talking about, how she actually takes that live link of the property in Mansion Global or Rob Report and then shares that on social media. So people are saying, wow, Lisa's properties are in the Wall Street Journal. Wow, Lisa's properties are in, James Edition or the Rob Report. It looks really great to the outside world. And the seller is really, really excited about it too. Yeah, we just added James Edition a month or two ago. So that was a super exciting add to our system. We are constantly building and adding benefits and adding features to what our division has to offer. James Edition has 12 million users and it's in 140 countries, and $5 million is the average net worth of their readers and their users. We love to collaborate and thrive with the best. We share, we have weekly mastermind. So this mastermind that you're attending right now, we do have an online mastermind the fourth Wednesday of every month. That's what today is, but it's normally 1 hour and it's open to anybody, any brokerage, any background, anything like that. But then we also have 3 other masterminds that are just for our division. So in the first, second, and third Wednesday of the month, we have a private mastermind on different topics. One day it's going over what's new in the division. One time it's a training topic just for our division members. And then one day of the month, one Wednesday of the month, we're going over one of our vendor or partner spotlights. So you can understand really how do those binding machines, what are all the ways you can use that binding system and covers? What are different ways you can use that farming system? What are different ways you can use those video cards? So we've got tons of that. We meet in person several times a year. We meet in person at all our different events. We love having events. People think that EXP, because we're cloud-based, we don't get together. I would actually channel them to say we get together sometimes more often than anybody else, because we're cloud-based. We love to come together, and we come together all over the place in really, really unique places. So this is just a couple of the events where our amazing luxury people have actually been asked to speak on our big stages. I think this was in front of 4,000 or 5,000 people here. This was down in Cabo with Jana and Pete. So we do stuff all the time. We network, come together, training, networking, tools. Pete, share with us what you think about the division and how much you love it, and what does somebody need to know if they're interested?
Wow, what a setup. Janie, you're doing a phenomenal job. You guys, listen, this is all of our passion project. We've been working on this for a long time. And prior to EXP Luxury being formed, I was using a lot of these vendors. I know a lot of people have asked what has a cost and so forth. I was spending between 60 and 100,000 a year just to utilize some of these tools, individual tools for my luxury listings. Now you get all of them. You get all these tools. You get all the distribution for $2,500 a year, which is the greatest deal ever, you guys, because I was paying initially just per listing for 1/10 of it. I was paying $2,500 per listing. So now you're able to have 10 listings broadcast and distributed throughout the world on all the best luxury sites and luxury publications. And it's all included for $2,500 a year. It's the biggest no-brainer in luxury. And if you're not utilizing it or you're not involved in it, then I would go get your head checked. Immediately go get your head checked, because that's how good it is. I mean, we have deals on luxury websites. We have deals on luxury cards, signs, everything. We've all negotiated the best deal you can possibly get on any of these. Trust me, I'm Bostonian. I'm always asking people, what's the deal? I drive them crazy. I mean, we worked on the website, people, for 10 months. I thought I gave birth to a website by the time we were done. But when it comes to marketing, this is second to none. It's easy to use, you guys. Just the presentations, like Janie was saying, it takes 2 to 3 minutes. And the beauty of it is your listing gets automatically put in. If you put in a picture of the listing, you know, if you go to Google and type in the address, they'll always have even a street view. And you can pop it into the presentation, and it auto-populates throughout the presentation in real time. It's super, super cool. And if your clients press on that during the presentation, they'll see it in real time on those publications. So nobody else is going to match our exposure, our marketing, and how we distribute, right? And each week, you and your client will get, you know, a whole recap of what's going on with your listing, how many unique visitors you've had, how many impressions, and so forth. So when you go to get a price adjustment or to reintroduce the property at a different price, there's no way they can argue with you, because they've seen it in real time, how many people have looked at your property. You know, I had a client of mine, we had a property on for 12.9 million, and we had over 4,600 impressions through the Wall Street Journal, Barron's, DuPont Registry, James Edition, Mansion Global, the New York Times. And they said to me, so what do you feel we do? And I said, well, 4,600 people have looked at your house. How many offers have we had? They said, none. I said, so what do you feel we should do? They said, I think we should lower the price. I said, I think that's a start. So we set the price to 10.9, and the woman stopped me and she said, do you even think that's enough? Maybe we should go to 9.9 because you have it advertised everywhere and nobody's offered. We ended up going to 9.9 and selling the property. So it's that valuable, you guys. And like I said, it's luxury real estate in a box. Everything you need is there. I don't care if you've never sold a piece of luxury real estate. It's all at your fingertips in the marketing portal. And this was our vision from day one. You know, when I arrived at EXP in 2019, we had no luxury. We had no luxury division. We had no concept of luxury. And I had to do all my marketing myself, all my printing, all my design, everything. And then at one point, we all got together and said, this is crazy. We have to go in this direction. And our goal is to have 25,000 luxury agents worldwide within the next 5 years. And we'll get there. So we have the right people. We have people like Janie and Carrie and Jana and Tina and Ed and I, hopefully. And, you know, we're all drivers and we're all sharers, and we want to be part of your success. Yes. So everything is in there. No, the printing is not covered at 2,500. I wish it was. No, 2,500 gets you the whole marketing portal. It gets you everything in there. And there's no way you can pass that up, you guys. This is a no-brainer. You know, just look at it this way. And this is how I always look at it. You know, for under, you know, $7 a day, you get to have a whole luxury business in a box. And if you can't make money off that, then we have bigger issues. Then give me a call and I'll talk you through the rest. But, you know, listen, that's my recap on this.
Awesome. And Pete, I'm going to segue on that because you're completely right. Every listing, I spent way more than $2,500 as a luxury listing. So, and this is the other thing I love about this program is first of all, you all have done an amazing job. And I say you all because even behind the scenes with Jeremy and Charles, there's so many people that are involved in this fabulous program, but our luxury council members have absolutely put their heart and passion to bring the best product to any real estate company globally. And so we are so proud to be EXP taking this to all 24 countries and having that global referral network as a luxury agent is powerful. So I know I see a lot of questions coming in. We're going to go on and finish up our presentation part, and then I'll turn it over to these specific questions, and then Jeremy can show us a little bit about the dashboard. How's that? So with that, I want to brag specifically on Janie for doing a phenomenal job. Give her some love. She is amazing at what she does. She has a huge heart for training. And we have there's more, a great training to introduce what she is going to do. She's offering a 12-week luxury success foundation to mastery. This is normally $657, but you get a discount by signing up with that code. Am I saying this right, Janie?
Yeah, this is through this course, you do have to be a member of EXP. You do have to be an agent with EXP because this is our specific intra EXP coaching program called Elevated Coaching that Brian Ellington recently brought out. And we have, if you felt that this was really great training that you received today, but you'd like a really deep dive, we have a 12-week expanded version. So 1 hour a week for 12 whole weeks on luxury to take you from foundational to mastery. And it's already a phenomenal price at $657, but we're offering a 25% discount as well if you sign up and use that promo code EXPLUX25. You can also use that QR code. And then I think we have some prizes, right, Jeremy?
We've got more prizes. All right, guys. So we've got more stuff to give away.
Blow it up.
Absolutely love this stuff. You know, I love giving away stuff that I
one.
didn't pay for. That makes it so much better. So, all right, guys. So this is a amazing program because obviously this is I don't know who I'm pointing at, but Janie is a rock star. You guys know that by today. And so this is just one free pass, which is 12 weeks, build your luxury business in 2024. So if you got a sampling of what this 3 hours included, guys, this is like packed full of so much more to grow your business into that luxury field. So this is going to be crazy. This is an $1,800 value.
No, there's two. We're giving
we got away two things. Oh, I love this stuff. Okay, so we're going to give the first one $657 value. We're going to give that away right now. So let me do my scroll as everybody says me. This winner is and I'm gonna butcher the name. I'm Eastern Kentucky, guys. I'm gonna make stuff up. So it's Jess Singh, Singh. Jess Singh. Yes. Congratulations. I am taking a picture of that so I don't lose that. And then the second one is a 1 week or is a one free pass to the Elevated Expired Coaching Program, which you guys know how important expireds are. I preach on it. I teach on it. Expireds are an amazing opportunity, and this class is a game changer for you guys. So let's give it away. Here we go. The winner is... Penny, I've got Penny Arneson, Arneson. Penny Arneson. I've got that one down, guys. We'll give that one away to you. Congratulations. Love it. All right. I think that's all that we're giving away right now.
What great.
I think that's it.
So thank you, Janie. So yes, so you have 25% off of Janie's mastery class for 12 weeks. So definitely sign up for that. You are asking the price of the luxury program to join today. The price is $2,500, but since you all have been here, you've been with us for what, almost 3 hours, we are giving you 20% off of your first year membership, but you would have to sign up within 2 weeks. So that is what, to July 10th, I think, would be your sign up date with this QR code.
And that's a total of $1,000 savings because normally the certification class is just shy of $600. It's $595, and we're saving you $500 if you sign up in the next 2 weeks. So between getting your certification class for free and your 20% discount, you're saving $1,000, and you get 10 concurrent listings at any given time. So it's not 10 across the course of the year. Sometimes people are confused by that. It's 10 at any given time. And if you have more than 10 listings, you can actually purchase more spots. So that's a big deal. And I put my mid-price properties on there too. There's a few portals that the mid-price properties don't go onto. They don't go onto Mansion Global if they're not over $1 million, but they do go into the Wall Street Journal and they go into other ones. So even my mid-price property sellers are getting a boost as long as I haven't exceeded my 10 live listings at any given time.
Perfect. I love it. All right. So 20% off. Make sure you scan the QR code or ask us for one. Next up, we were asked, this is our first live online training. So definitely we want to hear your feedback. If you love this, if this is of value and we should keep doing these maybe in the future, please let us know. Our next live, though, will be, I'm actually hosting it in Build, Vancouver, and those dates are July 8th and 9th. Actually, July 8th will be the training from 3:30 to 6 in Vancouver. And then we're also doing another live training in Dallas at Build 24 Dallas. And those dates are July 26th is actually the date of the live certification there. So hopefully I will see some of you there to give us some love and support, but that will be in live and training there. What else do we have? Really just to thank everyone and thank you. I mean, we've had an amazing turnout today. We love the energy. We love your feedback. And we truly are all here to make this a global status. When you think of luxury, you think of EXP Luxury, and we need your support. We need your feedback, and we are proud of our product that these amazing luxury advisory councils have brought to you. And of course, our special guests, I want to thank each and every one of them for taking time to come in and really share what they have taken with the value from our program. And in ending, and thank you, our ambassadors. I don't know if we have you. Yes, you're on here. You are always awesome. And we will have breakout sessions with them in a lot of our members only. And also, if you are a member, we have changed it up a little bit with our member online. When is that, Janie? Is it the second Wednesday? I get the Wednesday.
Second Wednesday, yeah.
Days mixed up, but we're doing a lot of value, a lot of more of this style. So we would love to see you all there and really interact and hear some of your success stories. So hope to see you there. And also I wanted to touch on when Janie was talking about Tiffany's, they are one of our new vendors now. So you will have more options to get with them for client gifts, for discounts. So it's a huge win to have them part of our EXP Luxury program. But with that, do we have time, Jeremy, to open up a little bit for the dashboard?
I'm going to stop sharing, and I think everybody wants to see
time. Absolutely. Let me share with you. This is what I get excited about, guys. As a tech trainer, I just love showing people exactly what they get. Now, can you guys see my dashboard?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, guys. When I shared my screen, everything went crazy. So I can't see chats. I can't see nothing. So here we go. So guys, this is the luxury dashboard. So once you become an EXP Luxury member, you have the privilege and honor to be able to grab this dashboard right there on your login. And then from there, you can access tons of stuff. So I'm just going to highlight some of the main features, guys, to get you guys a little bit more excited if you're not already excited. And so on the dashboard, guys, I'm going to show you how easy it is to create a presentation, because Pete's already talked about it. Jan's already talked about it. Janie's already talked. We've all talked about it. And so if you just hit presentation creator on the left-hand side, all you have to do is put in the address. So 123 Main Street. Put in a photo of that property, maybe a property you want to acquire, right? You want to basically show off, right? That's what we want to do. And so you put in the photo of the property here, you hit create. In less than 15 seconds, This is kind of the amazing thing that gets created for you. You upload the photo and it's right there on the main screen. By the way, your branding, your information is right there on the left-hand side, plus EXP Luxury branding is on there as well. Everything's automatically brought in for you, as well as a nice little cover page just to kind of give you a little highlights and little tips. And then it shows off that property of what it would look like on the new landing page. So you're explaining to your clients, hey, clients, guess what? We're actually going to build a website for you. And so I don't know any other agent that within 3 days is giving them a website. I don't know. It just, we do it. And so from there, guys, you keep going. And there's an example of Wall Street Journal. So when you're presenting this to them, or if you're sending this to them, they're seeing their property on each of these pages in the Wall Street Journal, in the Robb Report, in Unique Homes. You probably recognize some of these names. Mansions Global, Upmarket, Market Watch, Barron's, James Edition, as well as Luxury Estate, and so much more. And by the way, that's not all. There's the Vanna White coming out in me. You also get international reach. So that means in over 80 plus international sites, we're putting your listing. So now you're just communicating to the seller, hey, why in the heck would you not list with me, right? Because we give you everything. We're giving the exposure. And so all this is included, by the way, right there on this doc. So you're showing everybody, showing it off. You can't tell me that's not nice. But beyond that, guys, check out the website. And this is, we're getting ready to upgrade this website as well. So this is the website you get that's included. So as soon as you hit publish, within a few days, we're going to send you back the link with you can send this to your seller and then they can share it out, which is even better, right? And so any listing coming from this website, you get it. It's got a full gallery. It's got information pieces. It's loaded down. Plus, it's even got an awesome place where you can get all the leads. So any lead that comes through this site, guess who gets it? You do. And that's the best part about it. So these sites are crucial when you're marketing this kind of stuff. Let's jump back to the dashboard and get to one of my favorite tools, and that's the Design Center. Guys, I don't know about you. If I use Canva, I'm a big Canva user. This is like luxury Canva, and it's automatically given to every single EXP luxury member. So I'm going to jump into Design Center. We're going to click into it. There it is. Beautiful. And so it's going to highlight all the recent stuff that we've done recently, but not only that, you can go to open house assets and they're all available to you right there. Clean, super nice. Let's go to, where else can we go to? Let's go to the buyer's guide. That's all. Everybody loved that earlier. There's the buyer's guide. You click into it. You can fully edit this thing, guys. From there, we can do branding. You can do email signatures. I could go on and on and on. There's some marketing files in here. There's some attraction files in here. There's some flyers. Everybody loves a good flyer. This is loaded down with pretty much anything you want. Oh, one of my favorite pieces. I'm an email marketing guy. If you haven't heard any of my workshops before, so I love email marketing because it works, and plus you own the list, so that's even better. And so you can take these pieces, guys, design them, and I won't be able to go through all of this, but you can design this piece, and once you got it designed, you can hit share, and it's going to save this design and allow you to export it to your favorite CRM. So literally, I can go HTML code, and there is the code I would copy into my CRM, and you blast this thing out to your entire database. Game-changing opportunities. By the way, let's peek back here because I want to highlight another cool piece. Inside your listings, when you start managing your listings in here, watch, by the way, you want to see how easy it is to put your listing on our platform? Watch this. You hit Activate Listings, and you click the little button that says Activate Listing. That's it. It literally goes on all those platforms within about 3 to 5 days, which is amazing. One more piece I want to share, guys. Let's go back one. Is inside of your manager listings, you can go right here to Listing Overview. And check this out. This is all about that property, right? Down here at the bottom, we built this additional assets. You can send out an email brochure for that property that links to your automatically built landing page. This is unbelievable, guys. It's ready to go for you guys. And last but not least, I want to show you, I don't know if this one had it in or not. Let me see if it does. On these pages, see if I can scroll up. Yeah, do you see these buttons that say see in action? So after the listing's been submitted right to our platform, after a few days, you can go right here and hit see in action, and literally it will take you to that listing. So I would send this to my seller and say, hey, I did what I said I was going to do. Check out your listing in all these top places right now that other agents probably wouldn't do. You may not want to add that part, but you know it is true. And then you scroll up and you hit click this, and it will take you to that listing on that website. It's unbelievable. And so I've seen some questions coming in. KB Core is not completely integrated, but you can use that code inside KB Core. I can do it in 2.5 minutes and send out that email blast. Super easy. I could go on and on, guys, with all the tools and resources inside the dashboard. I mean, there's masterminding groups, there's preferred vendors. Somebody asked about vendors. Check this out. Check all the preferred vendors we have deals with right now. You can go to Follow Up Boss. If you're an EXP, this is huge. If you're an EXP luxury member, you can get a 20% off deal through Follow Up Boss. If you join today and you already have Follow Up Boss, you're already paying for it, guess what? We just gave you more money because it comes down off that price because you're an EXP luxury member. It's awesome. All right, guys, that's all I've got because we're going to wrap this bad boy up. But I wanted to at least give you some previews of some cool stuff that you will get access to if you join.
Jerry, there's a few questions that I think we should answer real fast. If you stayed with us through this certification today, you have taken the certification, you have gotten the fast track certification. That means you can apply to the luxury division, and Carrie's going to give you the code word so that you can prove that you stayed through the end, but you don't have to have the sales. You can join by qualification, that's the sales, or through certification, which you guys have all done today. Also, yes, there's tons of training like what Jeremy's doing right now on the dashboard. We have weekly training on the dashboard, on the tools, weekly onboarding things you can take, and a ton of video training as well. So I just wanted to hit those two things because that was coming up a lot.
I love it.
Excellent. Any other questions you all are seeing? I'm trying to scroll through.
We will get the recording out, guys. Give us a little time to get it processed. It's a 3-hour-long video. Buffers a little bit, time to make sure it happens. And then we'll get this out to everybody that attended today. Really appreciate y'all. Anything else? Code word is summer 24, guys. I just put it in the chat a couple times. Just make sure you see that. That's the code to put in when you're doing the application. But if you have any problems, guys, guess what? We have a team ready for you. So feel free to reach out to us and we'll be glad to help you through that process. We just want to make sure it's easy peasy, 1, 2, 3, get you in and get you working and make some more money.
And Jeremy, what's the easiest way for them to reach out, and to whom?
There is, if you go, I tell you what, let me pull it up on the screen for you guys to make it a little prettier. If you go right now to share, join, I think Charles is in the chat too. He'll give you some information as well. If you go to join.expluxury.com, you can actually check that site out and you can go to learn more. Plus at the bottom, there's all kinds of information here to submit and we'll be able to grab that information from you guys. But if you just go to apply at the top, it's going to take you directly to the place you need to get to. And we'll be sure to get out to you. I put my email in the chat a few times, but there's so many more. You can reach out to any of us, guys. We want to help. And so feel free to reach out to us through DM or through direct message or any way you want to get to us.
Yes. So yes, we are all on standby for you. Thank you all. What a great event. Our first live online training. Thank all of you, and we will see you soon.
Love it. Take care, guys.